Conservation District. Today is Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. The time is 4:10 p.m. And we are conducting it in person here at the University of Guamsina's building, room 104, as well as we're on live streaming and so can we get a roll call?
Sure, I just wanted to confirm, do we go off of the old
Yes,
title?
until we do our, yeah.
Okay, chairperson Michael Uggan,
Present.
vice chairperson Glenn Takai,
Present.
district director Dr. Glenn Dula,
Present.
district director Ivana Gonzalez, present, district director Martha Tenoria. She is on.
Oh, speak. I'm here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello?
Everyone. Yes. Okay, I would like to proceed to acknowledge the staff present. District Administrator Erica Pangilinan, present. Program Support Specialist John Ho. Conservation Technician Madeline Flores, present. Project Director Geraldine Batman, present. Conservation Associate Dalen Pangilinan, present, and Conservation Associate Jonathan Borja.
Present.
And also present, we do have our UOG advisors, Mr. Mark Acosta and Dr.
And then you want to call out the partners? Just let them go around, okay? You want to start? Just introduce yourself and.
My name is Robert Bavacqua, and I'm two things. I'm a supporter of the Soil Water Conservation District, and I'm also a new member as I've registered my small farm with you.
Back here.
Chad Richardson, USDA Wildlife Services. I'm the district supervisor for our feral swine program, and I have with me Joe Rabone is one of our other feral swine trappers for the North District. So he's on tagging along to check out what's going on in the South today. Okay.
Rachel Jolly, I am restoration ecologist here at UOG.
Should be says, planning with one person management program. How do you go statistics?
Andrea Velasquez, I'm a research associate here at the University of Guam and I'm part of the UOG Joint Fund.
Gabriela Pilaski, DHS Wildlife and Environmental Protection Agency.
I do spell out the staff on the phone.
Okay, did we get everyone? So,
And we have someone live.
oh.
For the folks online, would you like to introduce yourself?
Jay Dornilla, USDA NRCS.
And I guess that Savannah.
Hi, Savannah Garcia with the Northern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District.
And we only have Denise Nicholas.
Mr. Nicholas, would you like to introduce yourself, unmute yourself, and just let us know who you are?
Let me know.
Mr. Nicholas, if you are speaking, you are on mute. I think he just rejoined. He was having some difficulties here.
Well, we'll see his name. Okay, we'll just move on and, okay. Before I move on to this next thing, I'd just like to welcome everybody here today. It's our first partner meeting for the new term as a Southern District. We were recently sworn in three weeks ago or so in the governor's office. So yeah, this is our new term for the next 3 years. So thank you for all the support you guys did in the past term, and now we're looking forward for a lot more. Like to thank our staff too for all the hard work that they've done through this past years. And our directors who are all volunteers and just make the time to come out and get this thing going. So thank you, everybody. So now, with that said, because it's a new term, we're gonna do elections again for officers. So that's what we're gonna move into now, is the election of board of directors, officer positions. And the first, position is gonna be the chair for the Southern Guam Soil Water Conservation District. And, a call for nominations.
I move to elect Michael Uggan as chairperson.
I
Okay.
second that.
Any other nominees? Please. So, being that there's no other nominees, I guess I'm it, right? So, thank you for that. So I'll take over again, calling for nominations for the vice chair position.
I move to elect Glenda Kai.
Nominate.
I move to nominate Glenda Kai as a vice chairperson.
Okay. Any other nominees? Going?
Just believe that, like, you could do like people. Are we able to make a motion to move the people? Oh, I don't know.
Sounds cool.
You know how parliament here too. Right?
We'll
Yeah.
So, without any other nominees, Glenn, I guess you are. Yeah. So
Yeah,
call for nomination, what?
I was gonna say to Mr. Chair, could I make a motion to nominate all the officers that were currently in office from the last term to resume to carry over, carry over for which will include the leftover.
You just named it.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. What was I before?
Sergeant. That's all.
Yes, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
that's definitely,
Second.
Director Marta,
Yeah, good.
you okay with that status quo for everyone?
Hello?
Yes. We can hear you.
Are you good for that?
Oh,
Martha?
yes, thank you. I'm walking in now.
Oh, okay. So. We got a second already, so without any other objection or other nominees. So move. We're gonna continue their current officers into the new term,
For
right?
the record, can you just state what the office, officers
Read it out.
are and their
You want me to read?
secretary.
Secretary. Read out the officer.
So for treasurer,
Want to start from the, start with, right, yes. There's the chair, vice chair. And then they can-
so for chairman, we have Michael Uggan. For vice chairperson, we have Glenda Kai. For treasurer, we have Director Martha Tenorio. For secretary, we have Yvonne Wanesa, and for sergeant of arms, we have Dr. Glenn Dula.
Okay, all right. Thank you for serving. Okay, where are we at? Okay, moving on to number 3, the approval of minutes from March 12th, 2025 to August 13, 2025. I believe all of that was previously put out to all directors. So if anything, if you're ready, we can have a motion to accept all of them.
I move to approve the minutes of March 2025 and August 2025 as presented, subject to technical corrections.
A second.
Okay, any objections? No objections? No? Okay, so move, thank you. Moving on to, the Southern District Report. Erica?
We have a little presentation on PowerPoint to share with everyone. All right, I'll begin. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erica, for those who are new here. I am happy to share our district updates on behalf of the Southern Soil and Water District Board. First, I'd like to again reemphasize and recognize the re-election of our great directors here. Serving on this board, as Chairman mentioned, it's not paid, they're not paid, they're volunteers, but definitely pays a lot in passion and purpose. So thankful for your leadership, and we are all proud to continue this work alongside you. So congratulations again. And slide. There we are with the swearing ceremony with our governor. Very nice, and thank you to all of our partners who came out and represented and supported us. Speaking of which, our district now also has 78 active members, including Dr. B, big number. And out of those members, we do have some stats. So 45 of which who are bona fide farmers registered with the Guam Department of Agriculture, which is a great number. 44 have farm and track numbers registered with USDA, FSA, and NRCS. 20 of which have soil test samples collected, and 17 have already received their recommendations from UOG. So whenever a member registers with the district, we provide a free soil sample to them, in which we'll submit to the University of Guam, and then the University of Guam, through their partnership, will provide a recommendation. So we're really excited about that initiative, as we kicked that off 2 years ago or so, right, Dr. or Vice Chair? Kai. That's part of our soil health initiative, and we are looking forward to getting all of our members soil tests. 12 of which are referred by USDA APHIS Wildlife Services, and 7 are Chamorro Land Trust. So by our next monthly meeting with our partners, we look to increase that number by a lot. So today we also had that on our business to approve our new members. But yeah, we are definitely proud of our growing family. The minutes, it reflects that the last time our partners met was back in March. And it's already almost the end of the year. Time flies when you're having fun. But since March, we've marked some important milestones. We celebrated Stewardship Week from April 27th through May 3rd. Under the theme, Home is where the habitat is. We hosted the first ever Guam Educators Conservation Summit in partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability. And we also hosted the first ever Conservation Stewardship Gala. So thank you again to all of our partners who attended that and got dressed up for the event to celebrate conservation stewardship. So Johnny, did you have anything that you wanted to add in terms of guests and the gala? Johnny was our lead coordinator for the Educators Summit, and it was very successful, and we look forward to hosting the second round.
Sure, yeah, so with GETS, with the Guam Educators Conservation Summit, as Erica had explained, we did work with the Center for Island Sustainability to bring 15 educators from across Southern Guam. In total, there were 12 schools that participated, 9 were public, 3 were private, and they varied in sort of the grade level. So we had everyone from K through 12 represented. So the teachers, they had some presentations by some of the folks in this room, actually. They learned from experts in the field because they attended the conference on island sustainability. And they also had the opportunity to develop a service learning project, a unit lesson plan to bring into their classrooms for this school year. Other things that we might highlight. Oh, yeah, they were honored at the Stewardship Conservation Gala, Conservation Stewardship Week Gala. Where we had some certificates and some like little gifts for them to give as well.
How many teachers?
There were 15 educators.
So we also look to increase that number, but we're very proud of our first cohort. Who will hopefully all be participating in the poster contest that we officially launched. Other activities that we hosted during the stewardship week was the conservation demonstration farm down in Omaha in partnership with the mayor's office. Mayor Anthony Charla. And then that lovely woman that you see in the picture, that's Auntie Angie Mendiola. So we also launched our Stewardship Scholarship Award, and thank you to Dr. Jola for helping us get that underway in partnership with the University of Guam. So definitely a lot of fun. We're going to do it again next year around the same time. It's the last Sunday of April to the first Sunday of May. The theme is soil where it all begins. Board members, would you like to add anything to that in terms of Stewardship Week?
Just want to congratulate everyone for such a successful event. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart for all your hard work, Johnny and Dave and Jerry and Maddie, all of our staff members. And it would not have been a success if it wasn't for everyone doing their part and helping to come together and collaborate like that. So
I'd be remiss to mention that Director Marty, she was the lead also with overseeing the guests. And Director Yvonne, she was the lead in the public service announcements, script and everything. So yeah, we did a lot and we're very proud of that work. So we're really looking forward to continue. Okay, what's next? Okay, as part of Stewardship Week, we hosted the 2025 local working group. In which the priorities are as follows: pest pressure and water quality and quantity, soil erosion, outreach and education, land protection. So as you can see, everybody's looking to the future in the photo, but it's always a great, the local working group is very important, especially with our partnership with USDA, NRCS, sorry, Jade. But we have that report available, so if you're interested in kind of reading through what the initiatives that were developed during that local working group, you can definitely share that. But slide, as pest and invasive species top the chart for priority resource. This, our district, we have launched a few initiatives under our feral swine program. I think that's the next slide. We can go to the next slide. Yeah, so Jara, she is the project director overseeing our feral swine perimeter fence program. Jara, did you want to add in with stats on where we're at?
Okay, sure. Just really quick, out of 42 that applied, 32 are moving forward. And we have submitted 6 complete packages to NRCS so far. We're getting along there, moving along slowly. And by the end of the week, I hope to submit another 3 more or 4 to NRCS. We have approved, according to the DC, 2 so far. So, and we're currently, just a little bit of background, I'm talking about the environmental compliance process. So we have approved 2 so far, since the program started. And those are the comments.
Thanks, Jara. So by this time next year, we should see 32 plus acres of land protected with our perimeter fences. Complementing the fence, we also launched our pig rig feasibility study, so that's still ongoing. Working with the mayor's office, the community, and our members in launching and deploying pig rigs. And then also we have our partnership with USDA Aphis Wildlife Services. So Chad, shout out to you with the back. And yeah, we're definitely tackling Sioux scrofa, right? And in addition, the soil sampling service support, I just want to shout out to Maddie. Maddie has been boots on the ground. I was having a conversation with Maddie earlier that she has went out to over 115 farms, which is very impressive. So Maddie, thank you for all that you're doing. We got there, it's not not easy, but you definitely are leading the way in that. So thank you. And then we are working closely with the UOG drone subsidiary. Thank you. How many maps or farms have you mapped out of our members?
Out of the members. To include before you guys switch priorities, I have mapped 23 farms, I have 17 left. Oh, sorry, 15 left.
Regardless, that's, 23 maps.
Yes.
23 maps in which data will be in monitoring our members and their conservation efforts, how their flag has been. We're very proud of our. We still also have our technical assistance program in which the objective is to increase the number of EQIP and CSP, basically conservation plans that are adopted by our members. We also have our other initiatives to include REPI and the Sentinel landscape. So very soon, we will be launching a survey that we will distribute to all of our partners in helping us develop a conservation resource hub. Basically a hub in where we make available different data sets, information on conservation programs that are available. But we definitely would like your input on what is the need and what would work. And I think we can move on to the next slide. Gosh, it's a lot. Okay. Regionally and nationally, Guam has been well represented. As you know, Guam, we are members of the National Association of Conservation Districts. Just earlier this month, we've attended the NACD Pacific Southwest Region meeting in Colorado, where we reinforced our commitment to host the 2026 Pacific Southwest Region meeting here in Guam. So everybody get ready. We're looking at the end of August. So we'd like to really tap on all of our partners to make it a big, great event. So hype us up. Okay, so we'll be flooding your inboxes soon with some requests and help. In addition, our Vice Chairman, Glenn Takai, was elected to serve as the Vice Chair of the Pacific Region. He wasn't there, but he was not.
We accepted on your behalf. I know, that's what you, right?
Just like me, when you guys said.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
You can't complain about it. Yeah, he was voted unanimously.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't.
At 3 o'clock in the morning on long, now's the best time.
The support back there was so
Yes.
great for you.
Yeah.
And
The fact that you were a recent NGLI graduate too was a big thing for everybody here, so.
so all of your national apps. You Vice Chair, but so much that short. Well, congratulations on that. I also want to shout out to the Department of Agriculture. The Forestry Division, they sponsored our district to attend a Firewise training in Hawaii, where we learned the process of developing a community Firewise plan. So I know, just a couple of weeks ago, the forestry team went out to a site, the forest site down in Inalahan, and they are developing the first community wildfire plan. So, can't wait to share that with you. And then, yeah, we already went over Glenn Takai's, elected position at the Pacific Region as our Vice Chair. Next. So looking ahead, as we do have a new, term upon us, our district will be engaging in a strategic planning session next month. And we want to build on the action planning session that we held back in January. So partners also be on the lookout for our annual action planning session with you. We're looking to renew our partner agreements and engage in new projects. And we're also going to be hosting some conservation and farmer trainings, so Mark LaCosta will be leading that effort with our TA grant. And we've already mentioned our plans to host another great soil and water stewardship week. And then, yeah, just be ready for the 2026 Pacific Southwest Region meeting. So with that, we continue to build on our strong momentum. We have great leaders here at the board, and we are ecstatic to continue to advance our programs and growing our membership and strengthening our partnerships across Guam with all of you. So to do this, thank you for joining with us today. And that concludes the report.
Good job, everybody. Thank you. So we'll move on to the partner reports. We just go by who signed it first, or you have to sign it. It's called a problem.
Joe Revolve from USDA
Chad and Chad's gonna.
with Chad.
Hey guys, just like Joe.
Together?
That's your call, your call.
Here you are.
He didn't know he was gonna do that.
You're
All right, I got just a couple of things to hand out to directors. This is a preliminary annual report. I'm still working on getting some of the final numbers and disease numbers and stuff, but I had pretty much the final take numbers for the year. So I just thought I'd give you a sneak peek. What I'll do is finish this with, like I said, some of the final disease numbers and stuff. But there's some general information in here about kind of what we did for the year. And as you guys all know, I've tried to attend as many of y'all's meetings as possible. And this marks, I guess, almost a full year since I officially became over our feral swine program at Wildlife Services and here in Guam. So I want to say it's been a great year getting to know all of you and work with you all, partner with you all, and you guys are kind of a bad influence on me. Whenever I go to meetings with you guys, it seems like after the meeting, I should just leave instead of hanging around. But I have enjoyed to get to know all of you guys. I really appreciate the partnership, appreciate all of you guys' support. And as I've told you before, I'm not gonna ramble on, you know, since I started, I sort of made a number of tweaks with the program. And I think for the better, we ended up taking about 4 times the number of pigs this year than we did the previous year. And that's all on the same amount of money. So I think that's kind of proof that I did a lot of good things. But on the contrary, I got Joe over here that works on the north. He's taken over 800 pigs this year in the north. And we did 334, 332 here, but still, just to give you an idea, you know, we kind of ran out of money halfway, 3/4 of the way through the year, so I kind of had to pull Jathan off the south stuff for at least a part of that time, so that those numbers sort of represent not a full-time person. And Joe in the north basically went full speed all year round, and he's already taken over 800 pigs in the north. Granted, I think the north has a lot more pigs than we have in the south, and it's a bigger area, but I don't want to inflate his ego too much. The only other thing, so I'll just leave that, I just kind of highlighted some of the things that in this little report, which you guys will get a full copy of that. The only other thing I wanted to point out real quick, ahead of, I know you're gonna talk about the agreement for FY 26, so I printed out a couple copies of that. So along with some of my tweaks in the program, I also changed a little bit of the language in our FY 26 proposal. You guys may have already looked over some of that already, but just for your convenience, I sort of highlighted some of those changes. And just to give you a quick overview. What I'm gonna try to do in FY 26 is work on a way to keep a full-time trapper in the South. And that's gonna be funded through other sources, but taking you guys' partnership and changing the way we're doing it. I still have hopes for some other funding sources, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the way I do it in 26 a little bit so that I think I can make the funding go year round. We won't have gaps without service. And essentially what I'm gonna do is I plan to sort of nickel and dime you guys' funding, as we get calls from you guys. There'll be priority calls, but as I get calls that come directly into our office, I'm gonna log that time separately in a different account. And if we get the mayor's funding, like I've been talking about, same thing there. If I've got a call that comes from mayor's office, I can still, which will all benefit everybody. I can still take that call. We can address those calls, but I can charge that time on that account. So I think going forward, I'll have about 3 accounts that I can pull from, with you guys' support. And I'm hoping that that will be enough to, like I said, prevent us having gaps in service. So that's one of the things I kind of plan on doing. I kind of allude to that in this agreement. The other thing that I touch on, and I know we worked with Maddie a little bit in the beginning about getting new members. And we're gonna make every effort to continue to do that. Especially, our guys will be aware if we get those calls that come directly to our office, they didn't come from you guys, and we service those properties. I'm just gonna make sure and kind of continue to reiterate it with the trappers that, hey, if those folks look like they're potentially qualified, bona fide farmers, let's help nudge them into becoming members. I can't force them to do that as part of my job, but I can ask them and persuade them, so we're gonna continue to do our best to try to help you guys get new members through the contacts that we get throughout the year too. So hopefully next year, when Eric puts those numbers up there, we'll have even more numbers to show maybe that we help you guys get. So I kind of tweaked the language in that a little bit. And then I know because you guys are still kind of working on your big rig feasibility study, and there's talk about you guys doing some of your own thing. I changed the language in that a little bit to sort of reflect the fact that I want to do whatever I can to work hand in hand with you guys on that. So we will still provide technical assistance if it's somebody that's employed by you guys or volunteering or whatever the case may be. All I want to do is make sure we're all working together. And I know that some of this is going to unfold next year, but I want to work closely with you so that we can make sure that our program, whatever it is that you guys decide to do on your own, assistance work, or whether it's, some of the other stuff, let's just make sure we're working hand in hand. And we'll efficiently kill pigs. I think we can do that. So I changed the language in that a little bit. So all I did was basically update this a little bit, the language wise, so it's more on par for what I think we're doing as a program and as a part. So I don't have anything else. Any questions for me?
No, but I agree that chicken pigs is the goal,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and I said it before, this year, we approved for 1,100 pigs. The most pigs we've ever taken in Guam is like 1050. So thanks to this guy here, we've already passed our record number of take this year of pigs, and we're gonna double that next year.
Well, on that comment there about catching the greater numbers in the north. Maybe they do have, I don't know, but I think more is that you guys are more exposed out there throughout the northern side with the access to the heart of the north and all the group. Versus the south, it's got like a huge jungle in the middle. That's
Yeah, Joe could speak to that, sure, more. Those pigs, though, in the north are definitely more urbanized pigs. They're fatter, they're healthier, they're eating better. There's a lot of trash cans they're getting into. Just a lot.
and that's more just to get them out.
Clear. So, but yeah, between same thing with the north. We're doing the same kind of work there. And I think, again, with some of the additional funding, and just as a side note, I guess, I was in Fort Collins talking to our national feral swine folks 2 weeks ago, had some great conversations with them. Made them even more aware of our situation in Guam and to not get too deep into the weeds. You know, I've been part of that program since forever, since it started in 14. I knew the original coordinator, I know the assistant coordinator, that him and I have worked pigs together for 20 years. So I got to sit down and have a couple of beers with him and really talk about what's going on in Guam. And so it's been 10 years, you know, the original national program started in 2014. So we're 10 years in now. The original coordinator has since retired. So there's new leadership there. And the conversation we had was, you know, hey, it's 10 years in now. They're looking at sort of restructuring how they fund the states in various ways, because now, you know, there's some states that now pigs have been eradicated. And so my longtime friend and co-chairman of the national program, you know, he's like, yeah, I'm pushing my boss to really take a hard look at how we fund the states and how we've funded the territories. In the past, the territories have just been ignored for the most part. And that we're changing that. And it sounds like, and I think that there's a change in leadership that's willing to recognize that. And because density wise for pigs in Guam, I'm pretty confident that we have the density that some of the higher states like Texas has. And so we have severe problems that we don't get any of the funding compared to what the states get. So I'm doing everything, my bosses, that all of us, we're working hard to really influence, you know, our leadership in getting more federal funding here so that we can have a better sustainable program. And then ultimately, hopefully, it could be less of a burden on you guys. So you should be able to take your funding and spend it more on soil stuff and less on pig stuff. But again, I appreciate all the funding that you guys do provide us. I think it's very important because we don't get a lot of federal funding, but hopefully that'll change soon too. So something I'm just gonna keep working on, so.
I think we've been talking about that too, trying to get that.
Yeah.
Erica, Ryan, you talked about trying to get more money from those, eradication program.
Yeah, we're looking at submitting a resolution via our national association in which will help us advocate Congress to deem Guam, or at least to revisit these high-risk areas. We can't compare Guam to Texas. Our smaller size is just, we're at much greater risk of impact compared to Texas. I'm just saying, but they need to kind of relook at that and right size the pay in which territories receive for feral swine eradication. So
And provide just had more historical information there, you know, that original funding came from Farm Bill funding. So the original coordinator, you know, his belief was that money should primarily be spent on agricultural and production related stuff. So it's more about, you know, feral swine, you know, pork production. So the majority, there was a heavy emphasis put on funding with states that had heavier pork production. So it was really directed more at those states that had those kind of threats, and because we don't produce pork, we don't export pork from Guam, we don't have the agricultural base. And so that's another reason why we were severely overlooked. But some of those conversations I had was, you know, we still get a lot of damage, you know, regular personal property damage and small agricultural damage. And, you know, I said, we pay taxes too, you know, and just because it's not all agricultural related, there's still a lot of that. So like I said, I got a chance to spend a lot of time with them, and I think, you know, we might be able to shake some more money loose even in next year. So every little bit helps continue to build the program. My goal is to build a solid, sustainable, island-wide program that we can really start chipping away at these pigs. But you know, what we're doing is just basically mitigating damage right now. We're not killing enough pigs to really dent the population. And we don't have the money to do that. It's gonna take quite a bit more to do that, but that's the goal. Because I'd like to start talking, let's start talking about that word eradication. And I think that opens up.
Well, that was missing for a while.
It has been, yeah.
It's in our letter from the last legislative meeting that we had to Congress.
And that's something that I wanna talk more with you guys about throughout the year and Department of Ag and DAR and everybody. We gotta start talking about that word and see, for one, is it acceptable with the people of Guam to start considering eradication? Or are we gonna get pushback from people saying, well, no, we'd like to see a lot less pigs, but we don't want them all gone. You know, we need to start deciding what our goals are. If our goals are eradication, then we need to start talking about it. We need to start planning that way. We start talking that way, I think there's a better chance for more
I think
funding.
it's better to eradicate these feral pigs and raise our own.
No one's really started talking about that yet. And we gotta have those conversations.
But they had the same issues in our national association with Hawaii. Because Hawaii saying we don't want to ban.
Yeah.
But we.
See, but we're not Hawaii.
Yeah, so I'm just letting you know
I know.
that we're aware of what you're trying to say in this
Yes.
conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the truth. We do have to consider where we're going with it, but we're saying on the national level, our legislative committee, we have put it literally called eradication and control in terms of the letter. So we're advocating is what I'm trying to say.
So
We can-
yeah, I think that's sort of a collective goal for us going into 26, is that we need to start getting people involved and start talking. And
We'll
make sure
start
that we
using
have those entities on board with the way we're thinking, because I think we're all here thinking the same, but I don't know that everybody else is. So, you know, that'll be a collective goal, of course. And you guys know what happens when you let me talk. No, shut up. Yeah, shut up. But if you have any questions on the agreement,
Okay.
just holler at me, but I think it's pretty straightforward.
Thanks, Chad. The next one.
All right, and then we have a Christian Benitez with a BSP.
Yeah, so, just quick update on our work with Department of Agriculture in, moving the water system plan forward. So we had a water system plan stakeholder meeting on September 9th. In which we examined the existing legal framework, existing rules and regulations, that are pertinent to, the implementation of the water system plan. And, look at some of the gaps and barriers of, existing rules and regulations we are, and, bond code annotated, and, work with, participants to identify solutions to address some of those, gaps and barriers. So we're gonna be, using the information that we collected from, the stakeholder meeting to inform the draft rules and regulations moving forward. Second thing, we're tracking a bill that was, introduced, bill number 182-38, sponsored by Senator Sean Matata, in which, it proposes the transfer of lot 527-1 from the Chamorro Land Trust Commission to Guam National Guard in order to develop the property to provide for facilities for the trade. So this property is identified as a parcel of the water system inventory, and it's also been the site of reforestation in the Manila watershed for several years. It's also the site of several federal funded projects, such as the 2023 Lift with America the Beautiful Challenge and USDA Forest Service landscape scale restoration program. And so, yeah, in light of this bill undermining the efforts of the work that we put into this area, the water system plan, we're gonna be objecting to this bill. And so we're calling for support of our partners to support the.
Are you guys aware of their plans on that area?
Yeah, so the bill kind of identifies some of the requirements. So we got some of that.
That's the same area, right? With both like and what we put in the.
Yeah, so it's, if you're aware of, the tree planting, in the area of, Kennedy Road. Yeah, that parcel there.
That's not all.
Yeah. So. So the requirements, and activities that they're proposing is, dismount personnel maneuvers areas for up to company size, light infantry units. Controlment areas to support units such as restrooms, materials, parking, all weather access road. All vault areas. For up to battalion size units with motorized and trailer mounted equipment. Storage of sensitive training aids in a fenced area. Pre-positioned concrete overhead and pads for vault sites. Facilities for training, simulation devices. Yeah. It's name of me. So yeah, we're hoping you guys could support us in
We'll probably talk about that and vote on it.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, we're gonna be meeting with the senator along with Department of Agriculture to provide some education on the
How many?
yeah.
I'm looking at it right now, so. Friends, we have acres. 900, approximately 980,605 square meters.
Sorry, I don't know. The lot starts at yeah, that's all I have.
142 acres.
Yeah, 2.2. Yes.
For. When is the hearing?
Yeah, hasn't been scheduled yet.
just think note of that.
That's your meetings.
We're not like against,
Yeah, we're not against,
but you know, you gotta think about where.
the national security for sure. But yeah, there's other areas, there's several properties that are already within the Department of Defense.
Right.
That's a first question.
But that would be my question, were there other suitable sites that were identified before they landed on this? And did they look at the proper research to show that that's, under the land use plan as R1? So, but it's under, I think if they're trying to do a conditional use to conduct this, are they trying to convert it to?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's under the Senate Water System jurisdiction.
Well, look what they did with the landfill. They brought it all the way in the heart of, oh, now all the land around it is considered industrial. You know, that's why they're putting up solar plants and all of them. Because the dump is there now, they say it's industrial.
Now they're, saying it's not viable.
That's the same kind of thing. Industrial, you can do almost anything. Good one. You're good? Yeah, I'll continue to share.
I also wanted to mention that they just had the long coastal cleanup, which I mentioned like a couple of days ago, or. So, congratulations on a successful coastal cleanup.
So I was just to participate in that long time ago, I think almost when they started, I don't know, when was that? Maybe 80 or something.
Yeah, I think it's over 30 years.
Yeah, we used to. When I was in the fire, we used to do a lot of that standby and assist in that.
Way back. So still trying to file the data of how much trash we collect.
I used to do that field trip every year when I was a younger teacher.
How do you tell the other?
If it's on the younger, yeah, you gotta do the coastal cleanup.
Yeah.
What is a fire and everything that you have all the cans and they drink so much beer this morning.
Do you have, is there funding for next year? For that event? And,
What's the data?
uh,
Yeah, so that got cut too. We should get funding for t-shirts, supplies. I think we stopped funding for supplies for sure. Just no t-shirts. And yeah, t-shirts not big deal.
Yeah, that's it.
Any more questions for Christian? Okay, moving on to Bonnie PAs, Gabriella and Louise. So right now, Bonnie PAs in the process of reviewing Tom's water quality standards. There'll be an upcoming request for review and comment. If anyone has any comments, they're due by December 31, 2025. You can submit them either through email to Margaret Aguilar or Kristen Booty, or you can submit it. You can hand deliver it to our office in Seaton, or you can also mail it, but it has to be mailed, has to be postmarked by December 31st. We're also planning to have public meeting, one in the north, one in the south, to discuss more about it. The specific details for those meetings will be upcoming, and if you have any information about that, you can contact our legal counsel. We're also requesting information and studies on current fresh and surface water bodies and marine waters to assist with the development of our upcoming integrated report, which is going to be due April 1st, 2026. So similar to the Guam water quality standards, any information or studies that you guys have on that can be emailed, sent by mail or hand delivered. Email that to Margaret Aguilar, Annie Leandro, or Captain Elizabeth Graves. The current information for Guam water can be found on House My Water website. The last reporting period, so 2022 to 2024, should be up soon. It just recently got approved by USMK. And then I believe the last thing would be the next watershed plan committee, which were information with ESP, should be in the next quarter, so the next upcoming quarter. So later. Thank you so much. It's nice to see a representation from Guam Community. We're used to Margaret. She's not fine. Healthy awesome. Or can I get your title? I'm an environmental specialist. Okay, moving on. Now we have your teacher report. Andrea. Can I just reiterate my? Or on, anything even outside of her district report, since you already provided an update, but anything from Joe?
Well, for our lab, anyway, we do work with the Department of Ag. We will be mapping the town conservation. The Kennedy plantation as well as the Aspen.
So Dre is our drone pilot working with us under the partnership with Dr. King.
Any more shot down drones anytime soon?
But
Only up below.
yeah, I'm very iffy about where that tier falls. It's only because there's like just one more type of mapping I have to do, but yeah, we only have one of that payload and we kind of don't wanna risk it, so. I'm sorry, no, so well. They didn't necessarily shoot it down, it just kind of stopped working, but when we landed it, we saw like, oil. So We did like damage our propellers and one of the, like, half of a payload, which is very expensive, so, yeah. Work with the mayor's office though, like we send out the drone notifications to the mayor's office to kind of notify their village, village chat that we, like, if we do a mission down or wherever, like down south, up north, the central, we do kind of notify them that we will be conducting drone missions. So, yeah.
Any questions?
Thank you.
All right, moving on to. Moving on to our UOG advisor, Dr. Robert Zabala.
Thank you. The hat I'm wearing right now is Extension Horticulturalist at UOG. And the university is proud to announce that we've recruited a new soil scientist who will replace Dr. Mohammed Gulabi, who retired last year. We expect the new soil scientist to begin work in 2 weeks. Her name is Christiana Oladoye. Her nickname is Christy. She's originally from Nigeria. She was educated and worked in the United States. Her PhD is from Clemson University, which is the land grant university in the state of Georgia. And I'll bring her to the next partnership meeting where you can all get to know her. She's the professional at UOG whose mission most closely aligns with your duties or your obligations. Mr. Chapman.
Doctor, I wanted to ask, when we have our soil health initiative and then we had like our soil samples and we partnered with the university. Just curious, I know we asked in one of our meetings prior, we had like what was status quo from like so many years back that the extension agents within the Guam Cooperative Extension at the time it was A&R, like who, when it's submitted, who actually interprets and also makes the recommendations for those soil samples to our farmers in the South?
Thank you, Glenn. We wrestled with that quite a bit, and that's one of the first things that the new soil scientists will deal with. I'll call it going back to basics and strengthening this basic soil testing service that we provide farmers and landowners.
Okay, so I will kind of wait till that gets.
Yes, that right now there's a void between Dr. Gulabi and the new doctor.
Right, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That was good.
It's not good.
And she'll also be able to like interpret those results, right, and work.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, the UOG advisor, Mark.
Yeah.
He has a second.
Yeah, you first.
All right, next we have you. Oh, geez, Rachel.
You bolted when I started talking. I think I ran her out. She's gonna tattle, I know. She's gonna do it.
That's all we have, I missed somebody. Online, we have online, we do have, I'm looking on the screen for who's first, and we do have Savannah from the Northern District. Hi, Savannah.
Hi. Just a really short update from North. We're really just focusing on agricultural symposium, which is upcoming October 8 to 10. And then poster contest, which Johnny and Rosanna have been really great and in taking the initiative. So that's pretty much all for now. Thank you.
You. Any second stuff? And moving on to Jay Granilla within RCS. USDA. Hi, Jay.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me. I don't have much. Just wanted to talk about ending our fiscal year 25 signups. So we had a total obligation of all CSP and EQIP combined. We had 30 new contracts, totaling 639,000. And of that, there was a 7 CSP, which was totaling 140,000. Four contracts from the north and 3 from the south. And then 23 equip contracts. This is a combination of both regular equip and our joint chiefs, totaling 500,000. And of that, there were 9 from the north and 14 from the south. 8 of those 14 were part of the equip joint chiefs initiative, and the contracts totaled 300,000. So that was a pretty big workload. We did have other applications that didn't make it based off of either low ranking score or they didn't make it because of lack of funding. And then, but we're going to defer those, and I'll be making phone calls or sending out letters soon to find out with those applicants if they're still interested and want to move forward with the fiscal year 26 sign up. On record, I have 16 applications from for equip and 9 for CSP, and I'm sure the district has. Talking to Maddie, there's a couple new applicants as well, so we'll be looking forward to working with them as well. Let's see. Last week we had our specialists on island, so they were able to have a 3-day business tool, NRCS business tool training for the two Maddie and Geraldine. That business tools training covered our conservation desktop, which is the program we use to write plans, and our CART tool, which is the conservation assessment reporting tool. And then they also looked at ProTrax, which is our program for contracting, and also our document management system in which we upload all of our application documents and planning documents for review by our specialist. So, and then also they had a chance to do a quick forestry inventory with our forester, PIA forester. And that's also part of developing collecting information to develop plans in forested areas. So I thought that was a very successful week in terms of kind of training up our district staff that work out of our office. I'm hoping that from this we can do a couple plans for fiscal year 26 in which they can start to develop and work off of those, and then for future they can start doing more plans to provide assistance to NRCS. And that's all I had. Now our office is just moving into implementation. So we're following up with all of our existing equip and CSP contracts to make sure that they're implementing all their planned fiscal year 25 practices. So that way we can get those paid and off the books. Right. As of now, they're looking at a sign up for fiscal year 26 for both CSP and equip, but that's not official yet. But they're looking at November. As soon as we get something set, then I'll be notifying the districts, and as well as I think it'll be going out. There'll be a public announcement, and that's all I have for NRCS.
Okay. On to Mr. Dennis Nicholas.
Mr. Cecil, would you like to add anything?
Thank you for joining us, though, Mr. Dennis Nicholas. That concludes our partner reports. Yeah. We want to know.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you guys for your reports. I think at this time, we're gonna take a little break. And as you can see, there's some stuff over there that for taking attention, so. Yeah.
Can I just add really quick, I wanna highlight Daylene, Angelina, she's definitely taking up, over a lot of my roles, and she's also taking over the meeting coordination and a lot of our events, so everything that you see here, it's support with the great, our great staff and team. Thank you, Dave, for stepping it up and making sure we have what we need. So, good job.
Thank you, Dave. Good job. Good job.
We have the best guy.
So come on, you guys, let's.
Wait for this one, folks.
Yeah.
I make a motion to go take a break after, after the turn go Zoom, when we're, taking a break.
Second it.
Okay, all objection. Take a break.
Are we on? Are we on?
I feel
Are we on license? Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah, right, well, I now they're done.
Yeah.
Just.
Time
5:40.
5:40, so we'll, 5:40, we're gonna reconvene our meeting. So the remainder of the meeting is a lot of business stuff, so if you guys need to do something, you need to leave, don't feel bad. But you're always welcome to stick around and listen in on the other stuff that we do or things like that, so. With that said, we're gonna carry on to item number 6, treasurer's report.
Alrighty, so just to give us our current balances and accounts overview in our Coast 360 business account. In the general fund, there is $120,966. The feral swine account has $4,459.43. And also, I would like to note for everyone that the TA 2023 account, as well as the GACD TA account, has been closed, pending a meeting date to ratify the GACD TA account. So the amount of $27,227, they will be returned to GACD for formal ratification.
And just to add, Mr. Chair, I did reach out to the chairman of the North, Chris Rosario, to coordinate a meeting on the GACD TA grant. So he's off island and we'll get with him maybe next week to see when we can have this meeting.
Okay.
Firmly with that.
A quick question, that one is that, when we do meet for that ratification, do we need to have those officers at that time that was GACD to do this, or are we able to do it with maybe just our chairs, or?
Well, that was the question that we kind of had. We were thinking that the officers at the time could meet, since it was the officers of that grant. But I know that the North, the chairman at the time, Joseph Santos, was recommending that board boards meet as the members to ratify. We really just have to decide,
Because they might not even be available.
right?
Thank you.
So then are we recommending that it just be the members currently with the new boards?
I would think so, because all those may not be available.
That's kind of what we did when we got that thing back up.
Right,
Yeah.
which is fine. I think that's the first good move, it needs to be putting everybody on the same page. So when the chairman of the North returns, I'll coordinate with Savannah so we can get that meeting going. And we may just have to perhaps have the joint meeting at the same time.
Do it all at one time. Thank you.
And that's it.
Was it? Okay.
So you can do a motion to
Yeah.
accept.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Second,
I second.
okay, any objection? Without objection, so move, thank you. Moving on to old business. SWCD election after action report.
So, the after action report was emailed and presented to all of the board members. Which outlines our turnout, logistics and lessons learned from the SWCD election process. From planning all the way to the swearing in ceremony. Recommendation is approval and further coordination with NOG to improve processes for the future, so. Did everyone have a chance to kind of look at the report? I think the main thing to highlight is the challenges we faced were the North and the South weren't aligned on the same page in terms of what constitutes an active district member. Our lists were different. So we probably need to seek some legislative or advice on what our definition means. But for the most part, our district is following our statute in that farmers, buyers, landowners need to register.
Yeah, basically, we followed the advice of our UOG advisory partner, who urged us from that beginning of that last term to start doing that registry. And that's what we did, so I think we're successful in that.
And then just a few other notable items. At the time of nomination, candidacy or to run. Police support parents need to be submitted as well as an affidavit if they're more outstanding. That was collected after the fact, we should have happened before. We also need to update our boundaries with the UOG for regions. And then we need to determine our transition period. We're kind of, it's an unknown thing, so we'll coordinate further through.
Then we can, work with the North to have a meeting so we can align ourselves. You know, things, there's no difference in how we conduct it, so.
Overall, I think our teamwork, our team was there, our advisor, Roland and Mark, they were really dedicated. Also, the ballots, they should be counted the night of, so those are the only things, but overall, it was a smooth turnout. I think this time around, it's my third election, so we learn a lesson every time, and yeah, look forward to the next one.
Yep.
Or not.
Good job, team, for
Yeah.
getting it together.
You did it.
Thank you for all your hard work that day, being here.
Shipped it out, so it worked well, and Janine and I, we had to attend an event earlier that day, so it just, we're still carrying on the mission, even though there's not. So recommendation is approval, further coordination with UOG.
Okay,
Okay, I'll move to approve the Solar Water Conservation District election after action report.
I second that.
okay. Without objection. So move. Thank you. Erica. I'm moving on to B. 2025 Pacific Southwest Meeting Report.
Okay, so the report also was emailed to everyone, which summarizes our participation during the 2025 Pacific Southwest Region meeting. Receipts and boarding passes have also been submitted along with our expense reimbursement form. Recommendation is approval of reimbursement of allowable travel expenses. I'm not sure, Chairman, if you would like to highlight anything.
Oh, well, I'm gonna talk about what was going on there that you kind of like blindsided us. When we got there and we were hearing things that we were not able to host the meeting, the Pacific Southwest meeting for next year, or the 2026 meeting. And it was based on a lot of some overreaction and someone talking out of their place, actually, in my opinion. And it caused a big stir with the leadership. So they were really concerned about it, but you know, my opinion, you know, the region meetings are run by regions and the executive officer, everybody, they don't have nothing to do with it, so, you know. This is the first time I ever heard of them intervening in a way, trying to decide. They were already looking at finding an alternate host without even talking to us, right?
Basically, the other district, member,
Yeah, well, somebody from here mentioned it to our new Pacific Region rep, who just jumped the gun and ran and started putting it out without really thinking it through, without even calling me or Erica to, you know, being, you know.
But it was coming more from the national
Yeah,
leadership, not
just got-
not our own
Got
districts and our,
it
yeah.
exploded
It
out
wasn't
there.
coming from our,
So we had a little powwow and told them that we're ready to roll, you know, we're good. But they wanted a little bit more assurance, and then Erica did an outstanding job in the joint meeting. Went up there, presentation on the whole you know, potential for our meeting next year. Everybody loved it. Everybody, and they're all ready to come to. I think the only reason that they weren't, like, cause we did a survey thing, right? And I think the ones that didn't, that said they couldn't or not doing it is more because of, they weren't like authorized or something like that, or the funding, yeah, other things like that, yeah.
Well, if I'm not, I could be wrong, but in our meeting minutes of our Pacific Region meeting back in Tahoe, I believe we voted on that as a motion, so it was already selected.
Tahoe?
Or was Alaska, was Tahoe.
Yeah.
So Tahoe, remember, we were,
We reinforced it.
we had Alaska cover it because we just went through Malwar.
Yeah.
To be able to come to Beat Up Island.
Yeah.
So we said, Alaska, you guys do it, we'll help, and then we'll be 26.
And then when we were in Alaska, it was again voted on that.
Yeah, oh, see, so. Yeah, I went to Virginia with you guys. Went to
So
Alaska.
anyways, Crowder and I
And I was gonna
had to get up there first and, you know, lay it out what, you know, what was going on, but then Erica came in with her presentation that, you know, we already planned that, right? And, everybody really loved that presentation, so cool.
So the outcome really is we're still gonna move forward. but
Back on?
we had to gather already
No,
the hotel information.
Yeah.
Which we were able to lock in on what the rates would look like
Okay.
and what the meeting venue would look like per day. So we need to send that to the NACD leadership. And they're maybe recommending that we have early registration, like sometime in April, to start getting that commitment going. But we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
In terms of coordinating and
the date.
September. The date, we're looking at August 25th through the 29th. So clear your schedules, everybody.
And also, we're working on getting much more sponsorships and partnerships.
I'll tell you what, you know, our Southwest,
Brothers. and
oh man, those guys, they were on it, man. The minute they heard that there was all this stuff, they were like, oh, don't worry, we got this, we got their connection.
Right,
Talking about sponsoring this, sponsoring that, finding these, what do you call it, these people that want help us, yeah,
That would be like Wes, yeah, those guys.
yeah,
Josh,
Jim Berlier, all of them, they're all like.
We have, yeah.
Next one is. Julian.
Yeah, so
Okay, cool, well, good job.
Mission accomplished, I guess.
Yeah.
Again.
Almost like two more.
But they did want us to give them feedback, right, in the, you know, a few weeks.
We're still gonna send out the survey link, because, you know, there's a lot of people that weren't there that provide input of their attendance. We had about 48 responses, 60% of which said yes. 30 maybe said maybe.
Yeah, they're not sure, but they're interested.
And I think a lot of it really depends on the date, and I feel like once they know now what the actual dates are, we will have stronger commitments from people who can say, okay, I can be there at that time.
Yeah.
And who took over Caleb's?
Oh,
I'll see.
his name is.
I opened now.
I will be-
I opened now.
I will only forget.
He's new, but. Yeah, he's learning his role still.
You didn't have a good first impression of some of us. But now, we'll see how it goes. Anything else?
We just spent some time with Michael Crowder, former President Michael Crowder. We got to get to know and learn about the different conservation practices going on in his ranch, Acre Ranch, which is the whole ranch is a conservation easement. And jury,
We met the local board.
and we met with Benton.
We did a leadership, we participated in the leadership training as well. And that was. Informative.
And we finally made it to Bob Barber's ranch.
Yes.
Bob Warner, wow.
I mean, Bob Warner.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which again, we're also, hoping to get sponsorship from him as well. That's a
He
great.
was a pilot and he used to frequent Vermont.
Yeah. So,
So he's a long 2026. It's gonna happen.
So everybody's support is, we're gonna need it. Okay, so, so do we, can we get a motion to approve the report? Yep, and the reimbursement.
I make a motion to approve the 2025 Pacific Southwest meeting report and reimburse allowed travel expenses for. Second.
Okay, without objection, everybody good? Okay, so moved, thank you. Moving on to CNACD TA 2023 final report.
We submitted our final report. The deadline was September 30th, but we're done with it and we're all on track with our reporting for all of our grants. And now we are venturing into our NACD 2024 grant. Recommendation is approval. I've sent the stats, we've expended all of the funds and provided a little bit more of our in-kind match. With the program costs totaling at 89,768 and 57. But we met and exceeded our goals through the programs.
Okay. So can we get a motion to approve?
I do. I move to approve the NACDTA 2023 final report as submitted.
Second.
Thank you. Without objection? So moved. Thank you. Now we're moving along, but there's a lot to go through. And it's even more than that, so. Go down to D with the Southern Guam's SWCD transition report.
So as you are all new incoming or returning incoming directors, part of our boards and commissions law is that you'll have to undergo an education training program. That needs to be completed within 30 days of your swear in. So Johnny and I are currently in the process of updating the training program. And the transition report will be delivered during that training, so I recommend that we set a training date. Preferably during our next board meeting, which is October 15th. To complete the training and go over the transition report. Does the board find this doable?
So it'll be during in lieu of our meeting. Yeah. So for
We can still have our meeting, but we'll also integrate the training.
okay.
Yeah. How long? I'd like to say let's allocate 4 hours for board meeting and training and.
Is that the online thing or is it all
Yeah.
different kind of?
So we are integrating the training into an online platform through Google Classroom. And that's.
I'm the teacher.
Yeah.
So we bring our laptops on that day.
Yeah, so it'd be great if we have laptops. If not, we have iPads also from that's part of the. Sounds good. So from
Okay.
from Portland. What time is best for everybody? Because it is a Wednesday. So do we prefer something in the morning? I know might be teaching or.
morning.
Morning. Also afternoon. There's like a 2 to 3.
And then they asked me to present that symposium.
Right after.
That's right, that's what 12:35.
Oh.
That's pretty.
You have something on the same day?
Well, the symposium, they're asking me to be one of the presenters. So that's gonna be like around that day. So I'll be asking for you.
Agriculture or something?
Yeah,
I mean, are you participating at the?
yeah, Kat Harris asked me to be one, she reached out to me, I guess, from UOG to be.
Was it the farmer focus one? Or that's farmer focus, right?
I don't know.
It's actually about to with the.
That's the 20.
Isn't it like October, like? Let me look at my email, because you know what, man? That comes in.
That might be agribility.
Agribility.
Let me look, because Kat, I just met with Kat today too, so, yeah, there's a bunch, man, so. And I don't wanna keep asking you for leave.
So what's a good time for you then?
That's gonna be after I get off.
Yeah, which is, that's a good time.
3:30, after 3:30. Like I just barely made it up here by 4.
Are we willing to start at 4 and then stay for at
Yeah,
least
long time.
8 o'clock?
Can we just break it up? We'll just have a regular meeting and then just training a different day for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's longer.
Sorry, 4 hours is a long time.
Yeah.
Can break it up.
4 hours is just the training. Oh,
No, it's,
Yeah.
with the meeting.
With the meeting, where
might not even be that long. So,
Johnny would make it easy, right?
yeah.
Johnny did.
Click, click.
We're gonna know the GCA by heart by now.
A, B, C, D, A, B, C. Okay. We'll be quick, I think. Okay, we can even just do it within 2 hours, I feel.
So we just break it up then.
Yeah,
We're all the same numbers.
right.
Did we take this test last time?
So
True, last time.
it's kind of thing. So we're still going to finalize it.
So we can keep it October 15th as our usual board meeting date, and we'll just integrate the training within the board meeting, but we won't go over 2 hours.
We just have a take home online test?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
So that we did it,
That's training.
no.
That's-
It's our. It's
I'm gonna use a
our
checker.
district mandates and your requirements of the board members. I think it's different.
Yeah, so I don't recall doing this last time.
I remember.
Do you?
It was that
We did ethics training.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it, I was.
No, you were on Zoom, both the Dr. Dilla and you were on Zoom.
Right.
Yeah, that's why not.
That's a sound. Sounds right.
Who is it?
With
Okay, so then it's decided, October 15th.
All right.
We'll let you know.
Okay, no action required there, so,
Later, right?
Yeah.
Later.
yeah, so moving on,
Yes.
new business, FY 2026 budget.
Right, so I've shared the proposed amended FY 2026 budget. So as you know, the current budget bill was vetoed. And I'm not sure yet what the status is now that it's. Mr. Chair, what is the? After it's
It's, so the governor vetoed the original budget bill. And that was a few weeks ago. And so, and when she did that, she also submitted a revised or a alternative budget to the legislature, called a special session, I think, and they rejected it. So now they're trying to do an override of the original budget. And they're in session, I believe, this week, right? And I think they're in session trying to do that. That's one of their big agenda there, but they may be struggling to find the last two votes to make a 10 vote majority that they need to override. They have to have a 10 vote majority in order to override. If they don't, that whole thing is trashed. They have to do it, start from scratch.
Yeah.
And government shutdown.
Yeah.
If we get to the October, yeah,
Okay,
Looking at the 29th, right, for that session of September?
I think it's that close, right? Yeah. It's gonna be that close. Right before the deadline.
so currently, looking at the bills, even with the recommendation from the governor. We're still looking at getting the same allotment as last year, which was $281,390. So with what we are looking at with the proposed I say amendment because we're amending what we've submitted as our and we're reflecting what we're anticipated to receive, which is the same allotment as last year. That's what you'll see in the budget that I shared with you. The recommendations of the vote. It is no. edit so that I can run down it really quick or I can answer any questions.
So you want us to like to approve that budget and, you know, we can relook to visit it
Yes.
once we get a real budget approval.
Contingent on
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
staff.
approval of that.
So let's just do that.
But this way we have a budget in place, so
Right.
what we're looking at is spending, so our operations. can-
Yeah.
Yeah, and you did send it to us. to
Yes.
review, so.
And it's very much similar to,
Yeah.
Then I'll move to approve the amended fiscal year 2026 budget proposal for operations contingent upon approval of the draft budget bill.
And I second that.
Okay, any objection or discussion on it? No? So
thank you, and
without objection, it's so soon.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, bookkeeping services.
yay, we've been, really took us a year to get this going, but perfect timing, because we're in a new fiscal year. We did engage in the RFQ to have this lead director one, we were able to solicit 3 quotes. The quote that I sent to you is from the most responsive bidder. We're looking at an $850 retainer fee, but she did provide an update of $700 a month for a year. So she brought her fees down, yeah. I move to approve bookkeeping services as proposed.
Okay, second. Go ahead, okay. Thank you, any discussion on that or no objection? Okay, without objection, so moved. Okay, moving on to C, marketing and branding services.
Okay, this one's a very exciting venture for us. From so I've heard. So the proposal has been sent to everyone to contract marketing and branding services to strengthen. One, our Wahan Sentinel Landscapes partnership, brand identity under REPI and our own brand identity. So these services will be procured through RCOG under the REPI and TA 2024 brand.
So you guys like that idea? We will both move to
Yes.
with the
So
marketing and branding.
are they gonna redo the logo or is it like? For our logo. Cause it's such a beautiful logo already, but she'll probably refine it to meet. What typically makes a good logo. Our logo has a lot of details. But it might even be more than that, it's just coming up with our letterhead, just uniformity, so that way we can use it for our health interventions. And just communications, but she's very good, she'll walk us through the whole thing. And make recommendation. To approve the marketing and branding services. Vote.
Second.
Okay, no objection? So moved.
So,
Thank you. Let's see how that goes. Okay, FS Consulting, sir, what's that? FS? Yeah.
Girls Mind Promotion.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I need it.
All right, so Jara has shared, Jara, you want to know what you've shared? You shared the grant.
Yes, I shared the, emailed the board, the proposal for regarding using fence contractors, slash consultants and, budget modification request for approval. So since August of 2025, we have had 12 farmers officially rescinded. And so discussions have. PI, the administrator, and myself giving updates on the program, how it's going. And on what to do with these now excess funds. The amount of $165,700. So I provided a summary here on what we have been, we also have been in discussion with our finance administrators, our COG with their policies and regulations, making sure that we are in compliance with how they do things. And so since August, this is a summary of what we are proposing to use the excess funds. So there are three things, just really quick. The first is to use the funds to hire a contractor to assist in the completion of the fence designs for all 32. This includes the IR form, and providing quotes, which is a requirement in order to get the funds, from the. And this was brought up briefly in the last, monthly report. And secondly, a portion of the funds we are requesting to give the farmers an extra 1,000 on top of their $13,811 stipends, which will bump that up to $14,811. This would be to support the farmers to meet the requirement to use a contractor that has a business license to install. And then lastly, a portion of the excess funds we are requesting to use for additional staff to support the ongoing pig rig operations and also to support the no cost extension that we are requesting from the NAC to extend the project end date from March to September, which we've already spoken to Tanisha about, and that is the latest they can extend the project to. So the last salaries for pig rig staff and myself to extend up until the contract to September 2026. And the detailed cost breakdown is provided below. And so I'm just gonna stop there before I get into the numbers, if there's any questions.
So
Oh, it's getting out.
yeah, I don't have one there, was, I read it, I did read it when you sent it, so thank you for the email. I read it late. So the extra 1,000, I think that you put on there, was that in addition to, having cause you guys had the grant modification, you're asking for, funding for contractual services for a contractor with a business license to help install the fence, meaning is there gonna be funding provided, aside from the extra 1,000 given to the 13 million that was presented in the last year? Or is the 1,000 added to them so that when they do use the contractor per se, that's what's gonna help them to pay the contractor?
Yeah, the intention was to just give them a little bit of extra to help them. So it would be in addition to whatever they were already.
Okay, so it's just an extra 1,000, so there's no funding, meaning they're not, here's an extra 1,000 to help you with what they're doing, and then we're gonna provide funding to use it on top of it. No. Okay, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, so it would add to the total chunk amount. Whatever they were approved for, they would get another 1,000 to help. It's sort of like to encourage them to use a contractor out, and it's. Yeah, so we are requiring to have them to choose a contractor that has a business license. And this was something that was in discussion with our COG. Just kind of to reduce the risk of what kind of contract they use.
Yeah. My fencing did go through our COG.
Yeah.
And it did require 3 folds to have, And you have to use the lowest bidder, but I know my fence at that time was like 18,000. And the contractor we gave like 9 grand. So that's why I was wondering, is there outside funding? You answered it.
Oh,
You're just giving her
yeah.
an extra 1,000, you just say to help with those that are gonna use a contractor.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, that was my
I don't
only.
think there's any, so we did try and look at, we were looking at if there were funds to pay for a contractor to install. And
Yeah.
across the board, it would be really.
Yeah, see that, so that's trying to figure out.
You're saying at the maximum of 1 acre, it would be more than.
Well, mine 3 years ago was 18,000 and that was fairly low. Like, Fence Master's quoted me something like almost double that,
Yeah.
right? For 200 by 200, which is a little less than an acre. No, I'm sorry, yeah, 200 by 204, yeah, it's acre, it's about an acre. So I went 1,000, but we were quoting 800.
But what kind of, what system are they using? Like how many are going electric fence, some are going like.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's a good point.
So,
Mine was a cyclone, fence.
yes.
Yeah, not an electric fence.
So they're-
Yeah. Big difference, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking of cyclone fence.
Yeah, so, and then you're saying, you're going to get, everybody's gonna get that additional 1,000? But is it necessary for them to get it,
For the,
If they go,
for what they're
they
doing?
have to go through a contractor in order to get the additional.
right, so if they don't, let's just say I'm gonna do my fence on my own, it'll still stay at the 13. Okay, I understood it correctly.
But what's the size of these farms that you're looking at?
Um,
I know it's up to 1 acre, but are they all 1 acre or is it a half acre, is it quarter acre?
yeah, there's less than an acre.
That's what I
there's 1
mean.
acre.
The cost is different.
So regardless,
Right.
it's.
Mhm.
Right, as of right now, the top up for each applicant is at 1K. So, if there's any suggestions that the board would like to make on that amount, this is the time, so.
I think 1K is fine. It's just an incentive for them. It's just a risk reduction for us.
Yeah. Cause they'll make sure that they're in compliance, basically.
Yeah, if their fence is only $1,000, they'll get $2,000 to use a contractor. So if it's $20,000, they're still getting 1,000.
Yeah,
Like we can't, it can't be proportional to the cost of the fence.
Yeah.
Cause
so it'll just help a smaller guy more than with a bigger guy, but it's still an incentive, probably.
Yeah, they still, the ward month's still 13K.
Yeah. Okay, I just wasn't sure, so
Yeah.
now that clarified it. So mine.
Okay, so if I could just move forward to the actual breakdown of the numbers, if there's no questions.
Well, we all read it. Do we-
Yeah, I did, I read it.
I don't think we need to go over the numbers on
Yeah.
the.
It's already in those.
Yeah, so it's really just this getting your approval on what to use the excess funds for. And letting you guys know it's gonna be broken down into salary, additional stipends, and also to hire a contractor. And if that is good with the board, then we can just move forward on all the details.
Yeah.
So you may or may not use the entire 25,000 depending on whether or not the farmer will. So there could be still excess in funds if we only give like 2 farmers, like 1,000 each for a contractor, so we'll have like 23,000 in excess funds inside. Yeah,
Yeah, like if, let's say 15 farmers opt to use it, 15 don't, and there's a $15,000 that was budgeted in to use, but it's not used.
and across the board, some fences might not even eat up the whole.
Yeah.
15,000. So, yeah, there would be that potential.
How about we move to approve it, but maybe with some modifications done at a later time, can we do that? I mean, I'm good with how you guys are working,
So I guess we're trying to get approval on it so we can start
moving, right?
requesting actual numbers, with Lucia we need to request a budget modification. We don't know how long it's gonna take for NACD to approve it.
Okay,
It's already taken like 2 months. To decide what we're gonna,
Yeah.
do in the excess funds.
I'm
Just
good.
taking away like also my time to actually, approving the environmental assessments and do.
Okay. Then, you know what, I'll go ahead and I'll move to approve the feral swine perimeter fence grant consulting services and, yeah, for, as you presented it.
Okay, second,
Second,
no objection? Okay, no objection, so moved.
Good job, Jared. Thank you.
yep, thank you.
Okay, moving on to 2026 NACD annual meeting.
Yay, registration is now open. Well, we'll need to confirm attendance and also we are looking at submitting an additional breakout session proposal focused on our feral swine efforts. So I'll be working with Dr. Villa on that to help put the proposal together. But yes, I think at this point, it's the meetings in February.
February 15th to 19th.
Gotta be Valentine's Day, I'm sure.
So March.
Super Bowl Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah, so, also, we can make reservations and whatnot and for lodging. Right now is the best time.
Are we looking at doing one or two breakout sessions? Two, right? So one will be the educators symposium and the second one will be the feral swine.
Yes.
Nice.
So who's the staff?
I
see.
Ready, those two?
Okay, so hopefully Jay and Johnny will
Yeah.
spearhead this stewardship week breakout session. Johnny already submitted that and we already moved that breakout proposal.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping that for the feral swine one, we have our, our Dr. Glendula, Director, Vice Chair Glenn Takai, myself, and Jara on that breakout.
And I would done under here.
Sure, we'll be on both.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then hopefully Chad
What?
can attend if he's around.
Up to me.
Name what?
Attend at any, we were talking to him about that, but anyway.
So, yeah. So for now, what is it that we want to figure out? Just how many of us or who's able to attend?
Yes, our directors, first and foremost, who's able to attend and you commit to attend. I know it might still be up in the air for some, but let's lock it in and plan to be there for the directors.
February. I'm available. Which is a Saturday.
Third, vice chair.
Then what you know.
Yes.
February.
So what time will be?
When will
March, so.
Oh, on the 12th.
Okay.
12, and then if it ends on the
Yeah, oh, that's a
19th,
good-
we leave on the.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Thank you. Director Dula was just saying, go ahead, repeat what you.
He's up for promotion and he's.
But he's willing to be.
What did you?
No, because he's one of our
Yeah.
prongs at
But
the
he can participate in the breakout session via video.
Virtual,
Yeah.
virtual. Sorry, I'm watching it in March, so.
Okay.
Hmm.
How about you, Glenn?
Yeah, I should be good.
This.
Yep, I have this on systems that.
Yvonne,
Provided me
Vice
additional.
chair for our region.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. The draft agenda has already been, I think, published. Their website was down when I tried to access it.
So we're looking then for sure 3 and then no, and then possibly with Director Yvonne. And then for the staff, we're looking at the 2, of course, Erica, Jara. So,
There might be for Jara's role, I just want to bring this up. But the North has requested assistance from our district to train on our fencing and planning and mapping and section 106, CK 52. So in turn, they be willing to sponsor Jared's airfare to the NACD meeting.
Just the area.
Is there, but
And
Well, maybe we'll ask them that.
for you.
If they can say if they just sponsor all the way through room and board.
Yeah.
She'll train all of those. There you go.
I think it also depends like how much hours
They can just sit next to me.
and how many hours. So we can put it for Savannah.
So they can ask, is that Dr. do those questions? And both. Right? No, it's I'm like, you know, we'll cover this. I'm in the.
Yes, so I did bring this up with Chairman Chris. And he was requesting for like a sense of scope of work, just to see, so he can like see like the numbers and compare like what exactly we're trading here in return for the airfare prices. So the ball is kind of in your court on this.
Airfare, room and board.
Yeah, well, she's got
together a proposal.
yeah, she's gonna put the training to where everything they can do is what's needed for you guys, right? So
Yeah.
I'm sure, yeah, Dr. D, they can put together a proposal, but we wanna see if that's feasible to cover room and board. We can probably,
You know, it is, it has to.
yeah. Not just airfare. Is that okay, Savannah? If you can check with,
Well, we'll write it up and then talk
Okay,
to you
yeah.
guys to accept it.
I think once we get the proposal, then we can see from there.
how do we ask Jared? Jared?
What a great transaction and collaboration.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that. Partners helping partners. Okay, and then, yeah, so, yeah. Also, our advisor, Mark.
Oh, yeah, and Mark, yeah.
Do we have to have the numbers now, or can we just move to send,
We just move our advice confirm, and then if anything changes, we'll adjust it.
Sure.
I think we should start reserving.
okay. So how about, can I make a motion to approve participation for our directors that are able to go, our staff, our advisor, the DOD advisor. For the 2026 NACD annual meeting. Definitely to do the breakout session submission as well to do that. Okay. And on that discussion, we'll be able to identify those, on a later time.
Okay, no other discussion on that? No objection?
Second first. Second.
Okay. So moved.
Okay, and I did, we didn't,
Yes.
on our motion, we didn't have to, for Jared's piece, because that's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah, yeah.
different,
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Good job. Moving on. USDA APHIS Wildlife Service Agreement.
That's,
So,
yeah, I'd like to share on that one. First of all, Chad, I want to say thank you for, putting this stuff together, right? And, I do recognize like over the year, you've been the most, you know, of our partners, I mean, our partners are awesome, but you've been putting in the extra time, we recognize that. And then seeing this, I'm like, I'm totally, sold on what you're gonna do, what you say you're gonna do, and, and even taking the time to rework things to make it just somewhat tactful, right? We appreciate the partnership. I know we don't want to sever our partnership. Although we know we do have that, you're very aware, we talked quite a few, times, even our, local work, we had our informal meeting and I at least caught you up to speed as to why we moved in the direction we moved into. And with that being said, last year we did make our, like a change in how we want to approach this issue. And one of the things is basically the study, right? The feasibility study was basically, we wanted to try a different approach, one to primarily build capacity. Right, and then increase the number of traps and the number of service that's provided to the south. And with the agreement that we have with you guys in the past, we were giving what, 28 grand if I'm not mistaken each year, which you guys were well worth, doing that. I think in our approach, though, we kind of saw that we weren't really building capacity, we're just funding operation. And so, I wasn't able to meet with you guys on the last time, I just kind of got this, I looked over it, I don't think there's really anything wrong with it, I think it's excellent. I just know that we've made that motion, so to support the way we're trying to move this program. And it's gonna take years to kind of, to build that, so what we're looking at is the budget that we have set aside for feral swine. Along with the three-pronged approach, I know we're looking at other avenues. We heard it just in our previous spot, which is the feral swine perimeter fencing grant. We have some money that we're gonna try to have that allocated to having technicians that can be trained in the big rig stuff in the south with our three-pronged approach. I just don't know if 25,000 is what we're gonna be able to give to continue doing what we're doing. And in short, really just even we're online for our meeting so that the southern people of Guam know what we're doing is we're trying to build, being able to get traps, 3 traps per village until we cover the entire south. With a technician that's gonna be trained to be able to do that. So over a 5-year period, we're looking at the potential of having 15 traps. We've already done 2 villages, which is in Rohan and Talapopo. We believe, we haven't crunched the numbers all the way down, but we believe with just observational data we've done so far, that it's feasible to do what we're doing. If we look at the number of drops that we've had, number of pigs that were eliminated, and then with just volunteers, it shows to have potential. We do want to pair with you and continue to partner with you. I'm gonna make a proposal to be able to say we're still want to give. I just don't see 25,000 being able to give that and still continue our program. So with that being said, I do want to continue working with you, our group, being able to say, if we have all these guys trained with you guys can partner with how you guys set up the traps. I know you guys don't primarily use big rigs. You guys use the prop traps. There are areas that it's much more, I just say, for lack of a better vocabulary, it's easier in some areas to put a big rig, have a guy carry it versus the big panels. But then there's also areas where it's more advantageous to use the prop traps versus the big rig. So if we can build this partnership over the next few years and then have that capacity built, that's gonna be a big number of people that you guys will have in one team. Maybe not all 8 this way, it'll be the partnership of both of us. And then from that point on, once we're built, then we can go back to being able to give that funding once we're kind of built up. But at least now we're gonna have a bunch of trained people and other folks that deals with both the district as well as weakness. So all of that being said, we won't be able to continue doing that if we give this much. Now I know we've talked and we said we're looking at different avenues to reach out and get funding specifically so that we can help with what you're asking for. I know I know that Dr. Dula was saying he was gonna look into the invasive species fund that hasn't been being really tapped. That was one avenue. We're on the national level advocating, and as I said on that last, I'm going to be reporting on the legislative committee meetings. There's literally our National Association bringing to the Hill for eradication and control. Again, those certainly can work on later, but and then we've also went to the avenue of using the grant that JERA directs, which is a bunch of excess money, but we're going to use some of that money to also hire or at least provide a technician. But we're looking at building more and more and more. We need the money to kind of purchase those supplies as well as have a guy trained that's going to be someone receive some kind of stipend. And so the opportunity cost basically is APHIS per building a program. So I don't think I can support the 25,000, but I think I would be willing to do what we did last year, which is 10 grand, I think is what we gave. Or the time when we started our program was 10,000. And so, and I know when we last spoke, you presented me trying to say that I'll take $1. But anything you guys give, I'm with you.
That was in addition to the money that I'd already received though, after I made that comment.
Yeah.
Dollar doesn't do me much good.
Yeah, so I'm sharing with you that this is what I'm seeing in our program. I'd love to get you guys all 50,000, right? But I'm just saying that's what I look at in the agreement. If we give $25,000, which is, it's a bit much for us, we won't be able to continue what we've been proposed when we last voted on this. So we wouldn't be able to continue what we're trying to do. Is really what I'm saying. So that's, when I look at the plan, I can even go down, maybe go half and say, could we do 12.5? But I don't support in terms of being able to say, give the whole 25 grand and still continue with what we've decided as a board to be, and we started our start.
So has the board already decided on that, or is this?
No, this is just my discussion for this today, because we would either approve this or not approve it. But we did make this, so what we would be doing is changing what we've already approved as a board decision when we began the program. Yeah, so what you're asking us not to do is change what we've approved when we started the program and discontinue the program. So you're basically asking to support what you're saying here. And so our program wasn't going to be a one-year thing. It was going to be a year after year as we build. So this is truly building capacity. Right? So as the years go by, we would be getting traps for these guys, traps for this, so we have the southern villages covered. And technicians that we can hire to be able to operate them. Because what we've done is we've actually used volunteers. Right, and so we've had 3 traps to Telefoco, which I introduced you, so I'm showing you that we're still partnering, right? And that's Ken, and Ken's done an outstanding job, volunteer. Right, and then we had our Interon tech was, unfortunately, the family of it had a lot of death, right, and unfortunate circumstances, so we couldn't complete the year of doing the trapping, but the numbers in which the Interon cooperative did was pretty impressive, so in the few drops that it's done, so it shows it's feasible for us to continue doing this program. Right, so I can't support this, and I wouldn't make a motion to approve this. I can look at, maybe we can meet and probably discuss other numbers after Erica I think works on some of the numbers that we're trying to advocate for more funds. And then also with Jared's, the grant Jared does, I think we can look at money there, but I don't know what the numbers would look like. So that's my discussion on this. Yeah, I'd like to continue with moving to the program we've designed and still work with Avenifus. We just wouldn't be.
Now, what kind of capacity would that be? Or you have a recommendation?
So I said, I was thinking the 10 grand when we first started the program, right? And honestly, we don't give any other partner nowhere near that amount of money as well, right? So even 10 grand that we give is quite a bit, right? Again, that's subjective, right? Might not be quite a bit to you guys, you need a lot more, but coming from our district, we don't give any other partner anywhere near that amount, so. If we do that, we're still able to work with them. I'm even willing to say half of that 25, what was it, 12 or 10, no, 12.5. And then see if there's still enough funds to do what we want to do with being able to give some money to the meaning hire architects as we start building to pay them somewhat for the trappings in the south.
Are we looking at 12.5, 6 months, and then maybe revisiting it at 6 months and perhaps when we figure out what our budget looks like for Big Break and our other efforts?
That's another option. That's close to still what you're thinking. You know what I mean?
12.5 in 6 months and 12.5 in another 6 months.
So that we can relook at it, because we don't know what these numbers look like with what we're trying to build. And at least we are expanding work. Like I said, she's looking into technical assistance grants to provide more money for this. Jared's grant definitely is looking into more money to provide this, and we're still asking for more. We're still advocating because we want to give you all the money. We want to give you all 50, not 25, and then matching. I mean, we need you guys, right? But it's a tough situation.
To see what 50 does in the north,
Yeah, but I also saw what you did with what we gave. Right, you guys hit a record number and we didn't give you the 25,000. So that means you're doing an outstanding job with what we give you.
That was 22, what we had last year.
Well, you're doing an outstanding job. And I'm saying.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I just, it's frustrating for me, Glenn, that I feel like you're gonna shrink my program. That I think I've proven what we can do. And I applaud what you guys are trying to do, and I said this in some early comments, I question the sustainability of what you're trying to do. And you're on volunteers, and I've been doing this.
No, that's what I'm saying is now we're moving into non-volunteer. That's why I said I think we can do 25 grand. We are now looking to pay these guys. So if we give you 25 grand, we can't go and give these guys that we're asking to say. Now we're actually trying to hire them. To say, can you now handle your 3 traps? Okay, Mauricio, here's 3 traps that we bought for you. We're gonna train you. Here, your guy, we're gonna now pay you to operate these 3 traps. So, and you got it. Here's your 3 traps that we're buying you. Here's your guy, we're gonna train your guy and we're gonna pay him. That's what we're trying to build.
I understand that, and
That's capacity.
I understand that, there was frustration among this district and the board with some of our past performance.
Yeah, and I exited that.
And, well,
I did, I exited up, so we've gotten through that, so you're right. But it's what forced us to take a different.
I understand that, and I'm frustrated because I'm like, I'm here now and I feel like I've righted the situation and proved to you guys the level of service that we can provide at the cost. At the same time, I also realize it's a large part of you guys' budget. That's why I said earlier, like, I'm working everything I can to increase money from my angle because I'd love to do everything I can to reduce you guys' burden. Because I do know it's a big part of your guys' budget. But I hope you feel like it's money well spent. I mean,
I do, trust me, my heart really, when you're being online, my heart aches to be able to share it, I really do. I mean, I know you're gonna do an excellent job, I just feel like over a 5-year span. We're gonna build so much capacity that we're really gonna help each other, and it's gonna really hurt the population compared to just funding your operation every year. And that's
right.
I hope it's me too, but, and I don't know if I'm right, I can, in a few years, say, you know what, Chad, I mean, we made a bad call. I hope I don't have to say that, I'm hoping we're gonna be able to 5 years say, dude, Chad, we made an amazing call, now you got a bunch of techs. And we can give you all this money because we no longer need to pay for this stuff, and you got a huge team that's trained by you and our people. Like, that's the bigger picture in my vision.
My only regret is I wish that I got here sooner. I wish that
I know.
I could have been involved in some of these discussions with you guys in the beginning because next week will be 30 years for me doing this. When I've done this my whole career and we've tried this stuff in the States. It's not very sustainable. It's very difficult to do. It's not been successful in other places. And you guys are trying to kind of reinvent the wheel on this. And like I said, I hope it maybe, law is different, maybe, but I can tell you from 30 years of experience doing this, it's very difficult to maintain sustainability with having volunteers, with having technical assistance stuff. The mayors that we talk to, they don't want to deal with it. They'd rather us. We get the calls. I'm working with the mayors now, when I talk to them, when you guys want 3 traps to loan out, they don't want to do it.
And I hear you, we've had this conversation many times, I'm just giving you again, this money doesn't belong to us, we're the stewards of the people's money, so we're in these positions to make these hard calls. And trust me, it breaks my heart, man, but I'm not saying it's even done, we're really getting out there, who knows, we might hit it, we might be able to get that support from the invasive species, or even as Erica moves funds around. I'm not saying we can't do it. I just can't support this right now today and say I approve this because it then now cuts what we were trying to do. And I'm just saying we can't do it. I mean, that was a board decision we made back when we started it. Okay, that was it, so that's right, yeah.
So Erica's, like, what kind of the fundings, right? That's our big question here. What can we do?
It's $12,000 that we're discussing by cutting.
Yeah.
Or leaving in this proposal. Like, no one has
sat down and thought, what are we gonna do with that $12,000? Like, you can't even hire someone part-time for $12,000. It's a little difficult to hire someone part-time for $12,000. But we buy more traps. Like, I guess my question is, like, what's the plan with this $12,000? Like with Chad, it's already set in the proposal, what that money would go to, the staffing, the infrastructure. Yeah, like if we hire another person, is this person gonna be insured? Do we have a vehicle to support them?
So what we've already did in the study, like, for example, a great example is Ken Uggan. Ken's been doing this for the past year. And Ken has already agreed to the certain hours that Erica talked to him and giving him a stipend to take care of this. So he's already working with Del Alvarez, another mayor. We've already got Tony Chargaloff. We've got the different mayors that are saying we can put a guy up there. We can have these things done and we can give them somewhat of a stipend to be able to continue to do what we're doing. And that's what that otherwise would go to. Now, like again, I said, if we keep giving this, what we're doing is we're funding an operation. It's not gonna build capacity. They'll do great, and I know you'll do, you're the best we've had, is what you're saying. I'm talking over a 5-year span, we have the potential of doing way more than what APIS can actually do by themselves. So I'm literally choosing between building capacity versus funding an operation. That's exactly what I'm talking about. We had this discussion before. So again, that's my take on it, and we can move, but I won't. I want to continue the program. We would have to go back on what we've agreed on to build our program. We can look later, see if we can find funds to support it.
So 12.5 for 6 months. Or for,
Well, the motion is,
to postpone.
well, what is the motion?
Well, I'm just not gonna make a motion to approve it. I don't support it.
The budget hasn't even been passed by the legislature yet, so I don't think we should vote on a budget yet to provide. And I think we should this might feel.
I'm glad we voted for, and we moved to pay for everyone's trip to the national meeting. We shouldn't have done that either.
Yeah, but
That doesn't make sense to me.
So I think that what's in question is the amount, right, the 25,000 for the year.
Correct.
And what we're looking at is reducing that to half. I think the question.
I mean, it was when we started the program, we gave 10 grand and we used what was to purchase the traps and supplies. And then that was also for our bait.
So Erica, going forward with Pig Break, right? Are we able to fund a lot of the stuff that Glenn mentioned here about for the Pig Break program? Meeting the needs of, of getting that whole thing moving forward. And then is there something that can be used for APHIS at the same time?
So mind you, what that would be when we made the decision would be 6 pig breaks. So 3 pig breaks for Mauricio, 3 pig breaks for UMAD. And then getting text that we can pay a stipend for each one of those villages. So you'd have Ken train those other 2. And if Chad's gonna, with his agreement, say that they'll continue to help provide that support as well, then they'll be trained. So you'll have a conglomeration of Ken, who's been doing it, the other trainer that we've had. I don't talk much to Buffalo, right? I think they've already given, so,
Yeah, so is there?
I'm sure we have the same allocation from last year dedicated to this feasibility study, in addition to funding for staff.
so. I'm saying we can't do both. And so this recommendation here is saying, stop what you guys had agreed to do in building the program. That's essentially what's being asked. And I just said, I can't do that. We already voted to continue to build this program. Until we see that it's feasible, right? But that's not what we're seeing. That was the purpose of why we built it. So. Man, trust me, guys, I feel like I'm the bad guy. And it sucks to feel like you're the bad guy.
Nobody's
But,
bad.
you know, trust me, Chad, I know, I wish we had more money. I just really do, because I still wanna continue. To have this is that's our three-prong approach, right? So. I mean, unless we move on trying to see where else we can pull funds, which is, you know, I don't know, the invasive species fund, we said we're gonna try to look into there and say, how can we find those guys? That's an invasive species fund. Pigs are definitely invasive species. Like, how can we get into that and tap out? That's what APHIS needs. We even met with your national guy last year, we're in DC, right? And Dr. Buck was on the call with us. We were like, guys, give the Guam guys more money. Right, we're out there advocating, you know, we're not trying to stop what you're doing, but we just got, there's opportunity cost that lies in the balance. So, yeah.
Mr. Chairman, am I allowed to make a comment?
Yes, yes. We're in
Do
discussion.
you guys, and I don't know how the voting occurs, but I know I've been involved in a lot of other county commissioner meetings, and if you have county commissioners, you guys can still vote on this as proposed, right? Does it have to be a majority rule? I mean, obviously you don't.
Yeah,
agree
we would vote on it. So I
Can
can,
you agree, can you make a motion to vote on it as is now? And either deny it or not?
well,
Cause I don't know if you're the only one out there that doesn't wanna do it, maybe the rest of them does.
sure, okay. We can, I'm saying we can, but now this is what's gonna happen is if it gets voted down, then it's done, you're done. You get zero. As opposed to if we move and then. Or we move to change what we're proposing, then at least we can relook at the funds and resubmit something.
That's not true. If we vote no on this, that doesn't mean we can't re-bring it up later.
Well, that's what we're asking. No, I'm not saying we can't bring it up later. I'm saying right now, if this is what it is, it's gonna, if it gets voted down. Then I'm saying it's either 25 grand or nothing at this day.
Well, how can anything? So we can revisit this in.
Yeah, which is why I'm just saying, let's just move to table this and then relook at the numbers. How about this? Here you go. I'll do it. I move to approve fiscal year 2026 USDA APHIS agreement in the amount of $25,000. That's what you asked me to do, right?
Oh, you can move for something else.
I know, that's it. So wait, I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to work with you, man, I really am. I don't. But then we would have to revisit how we moved. When we built this program, so in other words, we would have to either rescind that motion we did a couple years ago, so we're building this program. You're now asking us to take away from what we've already built. I don't know how to approach it.
Well, so Glenn, like, if we were to relook at the budget and find you another $12,000. You know, if we maintain this 25 here with APHIS. And then find another, like, again, our budget's not finalized, if we move money around, right, Erica, we can still move money around. If you
Which is
want,
what I'm saying.
if you want another 12,000. Maybe that's something we can look into sacrificing another part.
Yeah, so that's essentially what I'm saying. I'm saying I can't say if we use 25 grand with what's in our feral swine account. Right, then we can't do what we're talking about in terms of building.
Okay. But what if we go by 12?
Which is what I said,
Yeah,
which is what I said.
and we can look at it down the road.
That's exactly what I said. That is exactly what I said.
That's not what I have.
I know.
I don't have an agreement for 12,000.
Right, so that's what I was saying. I was trying to make that modification.
Yeah.
I'm saying I was willing to do that and we can look.
Honestly,
you're-
$12,000 doesn't do me a whole lot.
And I hear you, bro.
I gotta build my program. I'm trying to build sustainability and build the program. And you guys' funding helps tremendously to maintain that sustainability. I'm working to build capacity too on my end with federal dollars. I told you, I don't want to have to burden you guys for any more. It's hard for me to ask for the 25, just as it is for you. But it's that important to me, and I need it to maintain what we're doing. If I get that cut in half, then our numbers are, we're not gonna be able to provide them.
I hear you, Chad, I hear you, I hear you.
The whole, or
Yeah.
6 months and maybe
But he said he can't do it, is what we.
I mean, we were going to commit 25,000 for the whole fiscal year anyways, right? Or was that for 6 months?
That's for the full fiscal year.
Right, so
So it's
25,
12.5 per 6 months, whatever. I mean,
right,
you don't, you get billed after the work, so it's not like, you gotta cut a check for 25,000. You guys get billed quarterly for the work as it's completed. So the 25,000 comes in quarterly checks.
I've had my discussion, you guys heard me out, I'm trying to work, and that's where I'm at, so.
does the board want to provide your input? Or, I mean, each director provide.
I gave, all right, that's where I'm at.
We can start down there.
It's only $12,000. I feel like we can find money elsewhere in the budget to supplement one program.
Oh, no, it wasn't the 12 that we need from that program. What I'm saying is with the money that we have for that particular funding account. What I'm saying is we chose to use that girls' fund account that we have every year that we receive the budget to do the program, which is purchase traps and then train people and have them have a stipend along with the baits and feeds we need throughout the year. What does that cost? I said earlier, I don't have those numbers crunched down, but I know this much, out of that 35,000, if we give 25 grand, we won't be able to do that. And we have already agreed that that's what we were gonna do for the next X amount of years. So if you're able to say, we're gonna give 25 grand, we don't have 25 grand to give them if we're gonna continue doing what we've already said we would do. So what I did was say, I think we could probably work with the money if we give them the 10 grand. And then I said, well, let's go up 12.5. I don't mind trying to do that. That's a little more, but that's what it kind of boils down to. But then now Chad said he can't even work with 12.5. I don't know what to do. I'm like, guys, I want to continue what we've agreed to continue. That's all I'm saying.
Shall we table this? Table it, maybe, that was what I was thinking too. Because we should get more direction and discuss more.
Total for the year.
No. Or I don't know, half the year and then. I don't know, what's your, what can be done to help us move forward? Well, you know,
Answer. Yeah. I mean, I understand what Dr. Dooley is saying. His point is, you're willing to give 12.5.
I'm showing you,
We've got you there.
We, Chad, in all honesty, I could be gonna say, we're giving you nothing. I mean, I don't wanna do that. It's not our obligation.
But
to
I'm saying
give
we're
our
at
part.
12.5.
I know, so I'm saying, work with me, bro, because I'm trying. Right, I've given you everything I've said, I've understood where you're coming from. We know you need the money, man, we know, we see it. But what I'm saying is, it's our budget money that we have to, we're the stewards to do that, right? So we've made decisions what we're gonna do with our budget. I'm trying, bro, you hear me trying. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, I don't wanna be felt like I have to give you the 25 because you're asking, and I'm feeling like, wait, hold on, this is, you don't sound like you're working with enemy. It's 45,000 or nothing, is what you're saying, and it feels like I'm being a bad guy, so no, we can't steward the money that way. So I'm saying, we're trying to look for the different avenues to get that money so that we can all work.
I wanna work with you guys, like I said, best I can too, but it just puts me in a tight spot too, Glenn. Because it's. Like Dr. Dooley says, it's not cheap to run trucks, run baits, run all these. I get, if you knock my program in half, that's what you do.
Put it this way, personally as a director, I was one up there. So I get it, I do get it. If we have other people do it, I'm saying personally as a director, I wanted to show swag, I went up there to do it, it's not easy, I hear you. Trust me, man, I'm with you all, Jathan was my student, bro. Yeah, he'll tell you how I operate, bro, I mean, I'm with you all the way. I'm not saying what you're doing is not important, it's not great, I'm saying if we had all the money, we would do it. I wouldn't heartbeat, I'd make the motion. I'm just saying, but there's only so much right now to go around, how can we do everything? I don't think we can. You're seeing our numbers right in front of you, everything's being reported to you. And that's where I'm saying if we can look, I got this agreement the other day. And I was like, well, we couldn't even work with these, so I guess I can't see us continuing doing what we've already said we're gonna do with our program.
You can always change your mind.
We could, but so could you. You know what I mean? We can, we can go back and forth from this all night, man. We can. And so that's why I'm saying that's where I'm standing today. I just don't think I can continue ours with what we have agreed to do. And continue and give it that much.
So I just wanna give my thoughts real quick, because Chad, you presented, this financial plan, and we've seen this before, and we've discussed this before, and you presented the preliminary annual report, and so at least for myself, I don't wanna make a decision right now, because I also wanna see a report from the pay grade. So I would like to have a better understanding of, what programs we're funding for the pay grade. And then I see Dr. Dula's point in allowing the 25 and finding money to continue on with the pay grade. So it's kind of like he's satisfying both programs. So at least for me, I'd like to postpone the decision on this for now, so we can actually look at the numbers and see what serves the southern community the best.
Sorry, Mom, I just cut you off, I'm done.
Yes.
I just worry about the institutional costs that you guys are gonna have to invest once you actually start running this program legit. You're gonna need insurance, vehicles, fuel, supplies.
Well, not if we don't build it that way. I don't plan.
If you have employees.
Yeah, I don't plan
They
to
need to
build
be
it,
insured.
yeah, and I don't plan to build it that way. We're not trying to build another APIS. I mean,
What are you
that's,
trying to do?
If you have anyone
we're trying to build capacity so that we can get this pig population curve. And I'm saying if we train enough people with enough resources, that's an overwhelming amount of number. It's only gonna take so long before we can curb some numbers. And then when we're done with that, then all this money that with the opportunity cost again, will go back to funding what we were going to be giving you guys, but it's much more manageable. And then you actually have people that are trained. You have techs that you could probably even hire, because now they're trained by you. Now they've worked under the different systems built by you. So that's what I'm trying to build. Right? So I'm not trying to say this is gonna be a program that's good. This is an immediate response to the invasive species blowing up to what it's become. You can agree that the population density of these pigs it's probably greater than anywhere else you've seen. You said like Texas. So it's a big problem. And again, I've said this to you, and I want to say this respectfully, no cut to you and APHIS. What you guys are doing is not working. That's the truth. It's not enough. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the problem that it is today. That's not on your watch, but I'm saying what we've been doing for the past X amount of years with APHIS is not working. Because if it was, we'd have it somewhat controlled. It's not. So therefore, we need a different approach. This was the different approach. And so I'm saying, if we give this is what we discussed a couple of years ago when we made the decision. Because if we look at now, training these people, purchasing the resources, we're building the capacity of 20-some grand each year. With you guys, it's just funding the operation to continue to do what you're doing. With no building after a 5-year period. After a 5-year period, I can say this much. We now have 15 traps over the island, right? With possibly 5 different trained people, and I haven't seen it yet. You've done it for 30 years. I didn't. So I don't have that ability to see what you see, and you were not on Guam for 30 years. So I'm saying from my lifetime, when I was a kid growing up here, I've seen nothing but pigs now coming to the village. So I'm looking at it from that angle. Whatever's been being done on this island for the last 30 years is not working.
Right.
with all due
But
respect.
then, with all due respect, I can't build my program either.
Yeah, but,
When you cut.
well,
my
you're
funding.
making
I
me
mean,
feel
how am I
like,
supposed
you're
to,
making me feel like it's my fault.
you said
that
you're trying to build capacity, well, so am I. I can't build capacity if you don't
But
give me
Chad,
money.
you're making me feel like it's my fault that you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? We're a board that's trying to use the little money that we have to do conservation all over. This is one of the ways. So that's where, I mean, Chad, with all due respect, bro, I respect what you're trying to do. I don't fault you. You're trying to find the money. I'm saying I can't, we can't do what we had already proposed to do with you asking what you're asking. And I don't think we're the only avenue for you to get.
I know, and I,
So that's it. I don't wanna go any further because I've said what I think I need to say. I don't wanna feel like I'm being, somewhat pressured or, and I don't wanna make you feel any worse or anything like that. I just don't, like, where I stand. And I've shared with you some of these things in other,
Okay,
settings, yeah.
so, I think we've been beating that around the bush several times, same stuff, thank you, so what, as the board want to do at this moment? Or, maybe there's more discussion that's needed, or what, I don't know.
Well, the motion's already been set forth.
No, well, I rescind that motion because like I said, I was just trying to show the support.
Yeah, you can't,
Yeah.
motion to approve if you don't.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll make a motion to table this discussion and topic until we revisit it with more information. That's my motion.
I would love nothing more to provide a really nice PowerPoint presentation on my program, all my plans, everything.
There's nothing more you can give me, buddy. No, look what I'm saying. There's nothing more you can give me to show me what an outstanding job you do. I'm sold on that, bro. I'm sold on that. I know that you're the best that Guam's ever had. You've shown it, you've presented it to us, you're here every meeting, you're the most partner I've ever seen in the 6 years I've been a director, bro. And that's why it breaks my heart to talk to you right now. I'm serious. Because I've seen no partner from any of our has been with us as much as you have. Like, trust me, I wanna say, give it all, I really do.
Alright.
And I'm saying it's difficult for me. So I know.
Sorry, Glenn, I think we're just repeating ourselves
We are.
over again. Can we just?
I made the motion. I made the motion to table this here until we can get more information. That's my motion.
Okay, but let's see, can we
Well,
have
let me
have a
second this
plan?
and then discuss it.
Okay, you can second.
So can somebody do a second on Glenn's motion to table?
I seconded it.
Okay, now, Glenn, you can,
Go ahead, Dr.
Glenn, do that.
So. Again, I feel like this is, we're swallowing on $12,000. And. Maybe in the next week. You can come up with a proposal for what you'll do with $12,000. We already have Chad's. Or alternatively, we can find the money in the budget to shift, because all you want, so what I'm trying to understand is that you want that $12,000.
No, not 12. I was using number 12 to say we can at least get halfway. That's what 12 is.
Yeah, okay, so,
I'm saying I want to continue building what we're building. So all $35,000 that's in that budget is what we use every year. He's asking for 25 of that 35.
I thought we had three.
Well,
What's that?
I think, I'm sorry, then I must have looked at the number wrong, right? In the feral swine account,
Yes,
aside from the 4,000 and stuff for the feed that we're continuing to use. What was the amount that we have allocated to the feral swine project?
For our feral swine project,
Yeah, not the permanent fencing,
okay, so 35.
35. So out of that 35, he's asking for 25 of it.
So, yeah, so let's find another 12,000 and bump it up to 45 or something. Can we do that?
So this is what I was saying is, we can look at all the costs that it costed us to be able to purchase these traps. To continue to the villages, as well as now not volunteer, which is why I was saying, we weren't asking for volunteer. We're now gonna give some stipend for the person that we're gonna train and then run it.
Like your phase two.
But that's my concern, when you start making the employees, especially doing field work, you have to make sure they're insured.
Well, we can work on that. That's what I'm trying to, so I'm saying,
That's a massive
well,
amount.
that's what we're gonna do. That's what I'm trying to.
That's not enough, 20,000.
So you're making my point even more clear. What I'm trying to say is we don't have to give that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but what he's saying is that even if we don't give him a dime, it's what the money that we have is not sufficient, right? To do the program the way,
But we're not trying to make employees out of these guys. We can work in
Which putting them
stipends.
in harm's way.
Well, we've been doing that with our pilot study. That's it, right?
Well, I know, and I would say that's dangerous.
But we've already made this motion. I hear you already made the motion. We've already been doing it. Right?
Yeah, I know. It's-
So I wanna continue it, is what I'm saying. Because we made the motion and we've done it. For the back, now we're just continuing it. But if you're asking for 25 grand of that, we can't continue it. That's essentially what we're doing.
So the motion is to table this right now, and so the discussion should be, are we going to table it or we wanna make a vote?
Table it and then we'll revisit what our project, our Southern District project.
yeah, I think we should really look at how much we're gonna work on the big rig. So we're not guessing on all that, so then you know what money is gonna be available.
Correct.
For APHIS.
That's what I was saying we would do. Who knows, we do all of that stuff and we find out there's 25 grand there, which is what I was saying.
Okay,
Yes.
there. So. Any more? So you guys gonna vote? The table? All in favor
Fine.
until further?
Next meeting.
Next week.
Yeah, next meeting on W4 Okay. So move. Next up. Rules, move, it's gotta work. Gotta work. I mean, I'm really. I'm all for all angles approach, I agree, and but like Glenn said too, there's funding issues, so. Let's find that, let's see if we can find some. Okay. Moving on. The second annual agriculture symposium sponsorship.
Okay, so, thank you, Johnny, for working with, the North to get their, sponsorship package. Is the board interested in being a sponsor for their agriculture symposium?
When is that supposed to be?
It's October 8th through the 10th, 8, 9, so it's a 3-day event. They have packages.
5 packages, yeah.
Yeah, so they, the highest is a 5,000, sponsorship. And then the 2,500, 1,500.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. That's money, we're talking money here. I don't know yet if we got the,
We just,
so
so we have this in-kind or swag sponsor where we can.
can we look at that a
donate
little later and see if there's some other way to help? If
Okay.
at all.
So.
Motion to table.
Motion to table.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Okay,
Thank you. Very good.
okay, moving on, Guam, second Guam Farmer Focus Conference sponsorship.
Okay, so this might be the one, our farmers of the board might be attending. Dr. Dula, are you attending this too? This farmer focus conference?
Yeah, I think I'm forced to.
Okay,
And
so,
that was the one you were
The one
talking
you're
about.
all-
So that was,
That's one good.
That's
yeah,
one
that's good. Yeah, that
I
was.
think they, yeah, that's the one they
Right.
involved, that should be.
that's good, okay, good.
Right.
So that's October 29th through the 30th. They are inviting myself and another representative to attend. So these are directors interested in attending. Director Marty, Director Yvonne, you're more than welcome to take my spot too. As you know, who are directors. But they are also offering us to host an outreach booth, so I think that's a really good opportunity for us.
That's been amazing for our outreach on it.
So let me know if you're interested in attending. Otherwise, us staff can go in and represent. I think this might be good for Madeline to attend that. You,
The little girl in the yellow dress and hat. She lives with the nun.
French. Yeah, but, yeah, so we'll just participate. That's what we're
Okay,
trying to do, right?
we can do like two, can you do like? The them to be the same person for both days and yeah, alternate so that everyone kind of has a chance to be there.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and participate and host a booth.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying. Oh, yeah. Go to executive.
Okay.
Don't take the action.
Yeah.
Because of the timing.
Yeah.
Are we going with this one?
Yeah.
So we gotta move that, right?
Yeah.
I'll table committee reports.
Oh, we gotta make a motion for the attendance for the farm focus, no?
Oh, what did we decide?
I move to approve participation and host the booth. Seconded.
Okay, all in favor? All objections, so move, okay.
And then Dr. Dula has just put a motion out to table the committee reports. And I
Okay.
second that.
Basically,
The public.
we do have.
And the rest, as well as the rest of the agenda. So that we can, other than the executive sessions.
You might want that.
Oh, there. Oh, well, let's have,
Okay,
give him his chance. So,
All right.
If you want.
moving on, so move on that, tabling the committee reports,
okay.
moving to public comments,
We have a couple.
Mr. St. Nicholas, Benny.
Hey, everybody.
Hi,
Good evening, good day.
sorry we made you wait, we were trying to get you earlier, but I'm glad you're on now, so you have anything to offer?
You're not gonna make me run the mile, no?
Yes, I do. And first, I want to say congratulations to all the elected board members and of course the officers. I also want to congratulate Glenn Takay being voted as Vice Chairman of the National Association of Conservation District Vice Chairman for the Pacific region. So I am been listening for several hours. I'm sorry when you called me earlier, I had a visitor and had to leave the meeting for a few minutes. However, I have several issues that I want to bring to the attention of the board. And just for a little background, again, my name is Benny San Nicolas. I'm from Inalahan. I'm a farmer. I'm also a bona fide farmer. I'm also been a member of the Southern Soil Water Conservation District Board and also been a representative of the in the National Association of Conservation Districts. So the issues that I want to bring to your attentions, I have several of them, and not necessarily in priority, but I want to thank Glenn Takay and the board members for addressing the wild pig issue, especially with the fencing budget. I heard that the federal agency representative had been working or addressing the issue for 30 years. I want to bring to the attention to the board that in the South, compare that to the North. And that's why our good senators way back created the Northern and Southern District Boards, specifically because of the issues, even we're in Guam, still very different. Perfect example regarding the wild pigs issue. The gentleman from the federal agency mentioned that he think that there are more pigs in the north than the south. I disagree with him 100%. I believe that there are more pigs in the south than the north. I believe the reason why is catching more pigs in the north because of the convenience and the terrain. I want to remind him, and Mr. Chairman, you are on the right track when you alluded about the terrain. In the south, the terrain are very different from the north. In the south, like in Arlahan, we have wetlands, we have mountains, very hard to access, to set the traps, which is very appropriate to set the traps. Most of the traps that I'm seeing are just being set on the convenience or whoever are setting them, not necessarily where it really needs to be set. So with that, I thank you, Glenn, Takai, for addressing it and bringing it to the attention that it needs more funding. Whatever is being done is not good enough. It needs to be addressed better. And you are on the right track in addressing the capacity building issue, because all of that takes time and it takes money. So thank you for addressing it. You were very much in track. And please do not back down on your issue because you're on the right track. So I commend you for that, trying and find better solutions to address these wild pig issues, because they are the major problems. And I just want to also bring to the attention to everybody that as a former chairman and representative on the national level with NSCD, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, especially the Natural Resource Conservation Service, Farm Agency, Forestry, you name it, they are key partners to help the Southern Soil, Water, and Conservation District, along with the Northern, address their issues, funding, you name it, strategically. And just as a reminder, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, NRCS, in my experience, they base their working capacity or action plans based on the issues that are being brought up by the Northern and Southern District Boards. They really are the best partners that we can ever have, because based on the issues of the farmers of Guam, which the Southern District Board is proudly representing me as one of the farmers. I want to commend all of you for doing an excellent job. You have come a long way, and a lot of these things that are happening, I commend you for all the good things that you're doing and addressing. Your capacity building have really improved, and I commend you for all that in your roles. And you, Glenn, and other members, you are in a perfect position, and rightfully, you have every right to address to the federal person that is countering your recommendations, because he's trying to justify his position and his budget. But you are on the right track in justifying what you're trying to do, because I have not gotten any help with any fencing. And the guy was saying that he'd been here for 30 years. He had never approached me or talked to me how he can help me with my pig issue right now. It's not just destroying my crops, the erosion that they are causing. That's a major issue. That's where the federal come in, forestry, USDA agencies as partners, and that's where they come in with the money. Just be reminded that all these federal agencies are supposed to be resource agencies, resource people for the Soil and Water Conservation District Boards, which are representing me to address my issue in the South. And thank you, Glenn and board members, for bringing that up. And I'm very pleased, and I'm also very pleased to be given this opportunity to speak. But not many people or farmers have the time to do this, what I'm doing. But I am glad that I have the privilege to do this in participate. And I'm very glad also that I listen to all the things that you board members and your partners have been discussing. The University of Guam, you can see it, they're very good partners. That's the main reason we moved there about 30 years ago from the Department of Agriculture, because at that time and even up to now, they're one of the best partners that the Southern District Board can have. They provide you with the office space, they provide you with the meeting space, they provide you with the handling of our budget or your budget and all the good things, technical assistance, for example. They're one of the best partners locally. And I thank the University of Guam for their continued good, excellent partnership. I remember Dr. Bob Barber as the representative for the UOG long time ago when I was chairing the Southern District Board. And I have been commending them because they have done an excellent job for the Saltwater Board. So with that, talking about the University of Guam, I'd like to make a couple of recommendations because, yeah, when we moved over there about 30 years ago or so, is to help enhance our ability as Saltwater Board members with the farmers in Guam and with the public and with the U.S. Department of Agriculture and on the National Association of Conservation Districts. So with that issue, with the university, I'd like to recommend several things. With that, I believe that the Southern District Board should start considering, probably you have, but we are supposed to be representing the Southern District. However, our office space and location is in the northern section of the island, the University of Guam. So I recommend that start considering a place to move your office to somewhere in the south, like Jonia, Talofofo, Inulahan. And because of the funding issue and convenience, the University of Guam have facilities in Inulahan. It used to be called Experiment Station. I believe it's Learning Center now, whatever. So I have had our meetings there many times in the Inalahan Experiment Station near the public health. They have huge facilities there. So please consider that. And also, I'd like to recommend that in the future elections for the Southern District Board, make it more convenient for the farmers from the South to be able to vote. So again, the same recommendation. If you can have the election conducted somewhere in the South, like Jonia, Talofofo, Inalahan, somewhere more convenient. So that's another recommendation. In regards to and again, these are not in order of priority. Farm access road, again, is very important for the southern farmers of Guam, especially now in the rainy season. It's very hard. Sometimes we cannot get to our farm because of the terrain, the flooding, the mud, and everything else. NRCS are very aware of this. So please make that also be part of your agenda in accessing money through federal grants, NRCS, Farm Service Agency, and other agencies, the local Department of Agriculture with forestry and everything else. There's so many ways you can get funding with all these good partners that are at your fingertip. Okay, so please consider that. The fencing I mentioned also is really very inadequate funding. I like to see better results like you are trying to do, Glenn. I thank you for that because that's really needed. So back to the capacity building the capacity building, strategically preparing for the action plans and achieving the goals and objectives of the district in cooperation with the U.S. Department of Agriculture and other U.S. agencies, and along with the University of Guam, and along with the local Department of Agriculture. You have all those resources. The law of Guam is designed to do that. That is designed to help you. Is one of the best board that anybody can ever be a member in. Because as for example, some of us are from in a lot of different areas. You as an individual representative can go all the way to Washington, D.C. and address this issue to the key agencies in the U.S., like the Secretary of Agriculture. You have access, direct access to the senators, to Congress, to address this issue through your vehicle with the National Association of Conservation Districts. That's also one of the best agency or nonprofit organization that you are a member. And that's why congratulating you, Glenn, on getting that position on the Pacific Region Vice Chair. So that's to get that position is an honor. It shows that you are respected on the national level and other members. So I encourage all of you, if all of you can go and attend those regional meetings and national meetings, it is very important, because through your efforts in addressing and talking to the Secretary of Agriculture or Forestry or the top secretaries on the executive branch in the US, you can get the things that you needed. You have the ability, whoever these other agencies that are trying to justify their position that they have limited budget or this and that, you have the ability to influence Congress that are appropriating the money. Some of those money can come through non-discretionary funds or whatever. So please stay on track. You're on the right track, and I commend you for all the excellent things that you have been doing. So please keep up the good work. And I again congratulate you and continue with the good partnership that you are trying to do. And you will find more success. And I'm very pleased to see the membership that you have on the Saltwater Board. I think that you have very good members. They seem to be very active and very, very well inclined and very, very sensitive to the people that you are representing, which you are the farmers, the producers. And now for all this symposium that you're having and conferences, this will help also with the networking and the outreach program and all that. And I'm so happy to see the progress that you have been making. So I just want to thank you for the opportunity to address some of this issue. And I, again, congratulate you for your re-election and for the officers also. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nicholas. Just a little comment, a little bit of correction. Our wildlife service guy, actually, yeah, he has a 30-year career, but majority of it was in the stateside area. So he's been doing a lot, and I really believe that he's here to try to help solve this problem too. On the voting, you are exactly right. We tried that. We tried to have satellite voting stations, but we were not allowed based on, I believe the law says it has to be held here. So we're looking at making some changes to that to allow that kind of access to the voters. And also the land, you're right on track with us again. It's obvious Cause we've been trying to get the land down there in either on Iha or somewhere to do our own office and farm within that area, so, yeah. So I like your thinking, cause you really obviously are in line with us from your generation to ours. Appreciate that,
You're welcome.
yeah,
And we can always, we used to have meetings down south before, and I
Yeah.
don't mind revisiting doing that. That was good too.
yeah, we used to hold our meetings down there too, and but some changes came along, but we can
You know,
look at that again, start again.
Yes, thank you for that. And also, you know, we had to go through the legislature to have the law amended for us to move to the university. So I believe you're gonna need to go to the legislature again to
Yes,
let them know what you want to do. And the legislature had also been very good to the Saltwater District boards in the past, and I see it also now. So yes, you do need to have legislative amendment to do those things. Thank you for that.
thank you for attending, sir.
Ms. Massey.
Okay. We're gonna move on, so. Just for the record, our next meeting scheduled for October 15, 2025, and tentative training, right, Erica?
yes.
Yeah. And the bi-monthly partner will be in November 12th at 4 p.m. So at this point, I think we need to make a motion to move into executive session. And so,
I move that we enter executive session.
okay,
Second.
thank you. They know the time and all that.
And since we're all
Yeah.
here, we could just
Pause video.
the live
Thanks, Ed.
stream and also the mute and Great.
Yeah.
They see.
Go ahead. It still says record.
Okay. So we are returning back from executive session. The time is 8:02. And with that, we will accept motions to the
Okay,
item discussed within the.
read the membership.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I make a motion to approve the newly registered members. For the. September 24th. 2025. So we have new members. Krista Voldell. Marcella Takai. Jason Polino, Krista Mafalin, Elizabeth Duenas, Donna Cruz, Catherine Perez, Manuel Ugget.
okay, thank you.
I second.
Second.
Okay, any objections? Okay, without objection, so moved, thank you. Next item is the
Personnel action.
personnel actions
Okay,
as discussed.
I move to approve items as discussed in executive session to include continuation with current staff and positions, additional increments for the SWCD rugby project director, and announcement of positions under our COG.
I second that.
Okay, any discussion on it? No discussion, any objection?
No.
No objection, so moved, thank you.
Congratulations. And now.
Good job, guys. Thank you.
Okay, a motion to adjourn the meeting,
Move that we adjourn. this
second,
meeting.
okay, meeting adjourned.
And the time is 8:04.
Oh, my.
8:04.
Yeah.
Check that one.
Well, I think.
Hey, guys,
Thank you.
everybody, good job.
Ay, ay, ay.
Hey,
Okay, we can just leave these
Donnie,
papers
Manny.
tomorrow and get them.
No,
Okay, so. And Mary, I have your stuff with me. I don't want to carry it down, you know, because it's like 50